who are competing here this weekend in their performances for 2014 and 2015. Let's recognize Glenn Brown of Fishers Area Swing Tigers for his 17-18 boys long course ranking.
We're live. Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Pike Aquatic Center here in Indianapolis on the campus of Pike High School for coverage of the 2016 Indiana Swimming Senior Short Course Championships sponsored by Speedo. I'm Eric Eaton, and I'll be joined by the Sport Development Director of Indiana Swimming, Tony Young, as we get ready for the second day of finals for this event, the 2016 Indiana Swimming Senior Short Course Championships sponsored by Speedo. Our first event coming up here in a moment will be the D final for the 15 and 16-year-olds in the 200-meter butterfly. It's a women's 200-meter butterfly, and that'll be the first event, the D final, coming up here in a moment. And Tony, it's an interesting format here this year for the Senior Short Course Championships. We say short course, but they're really only swimming short courses in the prelims. Tonight we're going to swim for the finals long course meters here at this beautiful new Pike High School Aquatic Center pool, which was built only just opened just a couple months ago.
Absolutely, and it's one of the most unique formats run in United States swimming. A few of the programs around the United States trying to emphasize during an Olympic year more long course swimming. The goal is the opportunity for not only Olympic trial cuts, which we achieved some last night, but also the opportunity for national time standards and getting our athletes in our pipeline more prepared for elite swimming at the world level.
And, of course, if you could talk to us a little bit about the transitioning from short course yards to long course meters. Most of these swimmers here are high school age swimmers. The young ladies had their state championships about a month ago here in Indiana, the guys just a couple weeks ago. So most of their training has been done in short course yards leading up to this. Now they're going to be swimming a long course meters event here this season.
And you're right. There's definitely a transition period of time. So the one thing about this event is you can't swim slow in the morning, so you're having to swim fast in short course yards and then adjust your strokes and your race strategies at night to long course meters. And some of this comes, we're a great facility state. I mean, we have more 50-meter pools per capita than any state in the union. So our kids have the opportunity to swim more long course meets than most. Not everybody gets to train long course meters. So there is an adjustment period. As far as the kids, as you see them go through the Friday, Saturday, Sunday event days, they will get more comfortable and be racing faster in long course meters, even on Sunday.
So as I said, the event order here this evening, we're going to start first with the 200 long course meter, 200-meter butterfly for the 15 and 16-year-old women, and we'll take a look at the rest of the events. That'll be followed by the 15 and 16-year-old boys in the 200-meter butterfly. Then we'll switch to the 50-meter freestyle events. Then we'll have the 200-meter breaststroke. Looks like both men and women for both of those events, 50 freestyle and 200-meter breaststroke. And then the 500 and the 400 freestyle event, followed by the 100 backstroke. We'll pause for a moment for the national anthem. We'll be back here with more in a moment. Eric Eaton and Tony Young back with you. We're ready for our first event, the women's 200-meter butterfly. And I said 15 and 16-year-olds because the D final is up first, and it is made up exclusively of 15 and 16-year-olds. The rest of the finals can be made up from anybody, any age group. They're open finals as long as the swimmers met a time standard to qualify for this event. In lane 1 in the D final will be Ashley Jenkins, 15-year-old from Michiana Stars. Lane 2, Lauren Myers, 15-year-old from Avon Community Swim Team. Lane 3, Maddie Johnson, a 15-year-old from Mako. Lane 4, Katie Walker, 15-year-old from South Bend Swim Club. Lane 6, Mackenzie Kirkham, a 16-year-old from Duneland. Lane 6 is Carmina Armstrong, a 15-year-old from Jasper Aquatic Wildcats. Lane 7 is Hannah Reed, 15-year-old from SWAC. Lane 8, Casey Ingram, a 16-year-old from the Fast Tigers, Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. She's got 2 teammates in lanes 9 and 10. It's Nicole Ruff, 15-year-old in lane 9, and in lane 10, Carissa Schneider, a 16-year-old.
Well, this event in particular is so much different in short course yards than long course meters. The opportunity for the athletes to swim in short course yards means there's a lot more walls, a lot more underwater kicking, a different race strategy, a lot more oxygen needed in meters, much more relaxed pace on the way out, less legs used on the first 50.
Swimmers coming back from the far end of the pool right now after the completion of the first lap. That'll be the south end of the pool. And they start at the north end of the pool, so I say they move left to right on the computer screen and then come back from right to left.
So you watch our leader right there with her hands, nice soft catch out front, trying to make the stroke nice and long and strong, keeping the hips up throughout the stroke.
Lane 1, by the way, here at the Pike Aquatic Center will be at the bottom of your screen, and lane 10 is at the top.
And again, we're racing 10 lanes in finals because of the unique pool situation that we have, and more kids getting the opportunity to swim finals. 40 kids swim finals tonight, and that it gives them the opportunity for a great deal of experience that will pay off.
It's like lane 6, Carmina Armstrong from Jasper with the lead right now. Heading down towards the far end of the pool in completion of her third length of this 200-meter butterfly race. That's 4 lengths of the pool. And so she makes the turn for home now in lane 6 with the lead. It looks like lane 3 may be making a strong move here at the conclusion of this race. That's Maddie Johnson from Mako.
We got a tight battle in the middle of the pool. You can see, obviously, you're out front. You're seeing nothing but open water. You're in second place. At least you see your competition. Watch the leader here. She's every other breathing pattern, trying to keep her hips up. And every time that head comes up, those hips drop. So when she brings it back down, it's actually helping her body position.
Lane 6 has led this all the way. That is Carmina Armstrong, and she's going to take the win. And her winning time is 2:25.24 for Carmina Armstrong, 15-year-old from Jasper Aquatic Wildcats. Second place goes to lane 3. That was Maddie Johnson, 2:26.80. And third place in lane 7 was Hannah Reed, 2:27.89. So that'll bring us now to the C final. In lane 1, it'll be Kylie Sutherland, an 18-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club of Fishers. Lane 2, Phoebe Renzik, 15-year-old from Councilman Center. Lane 2, Anna McCahill, 16-year-old from Franklin Regional Swim Team. Lane 4 is Elizabeth Peskin, 18-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 5, Mackenzie Lewis, 16-year-old from the Bloomington Swim Club. Lane 6, Phoebe Garrett, 18-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 7 is Alex Fees, a 16-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 8, Kate Holtkamp, 17-year-old from Noblesville Swim Club. Lane 9, Morgan Grout, 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. In lane 10, it's Allie Terrell, a 15-year-old from Franklin Regional Swim Team. This is Heat 2 of the C Final for the women's 200-meter butterfly, our first event here for the second night of finals here at the 2016 Indiana Swimming Senior Short Course Championship, sponsored by Speedo. Swimmers headed down to the far end of the pool, make the turn after the first 50. Again, swimming long course meters here tonight for finals after they qualified this morning in prelim swimming short course yards. And And so far, it looks like nobody really pulling away from the competition in this C final. Looks like maybe lane 2 at the bottom of your screen, a slight lead there. That's Phoebe Renzik from Councilman Center. And she has the lead in lane 2. Phoebe Renzik, she makes the turn. She's halfway through the race. 2 lengths of the pool left. And in second place right now, out in the middle of the pool. And I believe it's in lane 5. That's Mackenzie Lewis.
So the time standards that many of these athletes are trying to achieve, many of our athletes here, the top end time we're trying to achieve this evening is Olympic trial time standards, the U.S. Open National Juniors time standards, and as well as the future and sectional time standards. So we're not just searching for one time standard. This is a pipeline meet, developing the next level of our young athletes to be able to compete for the 2020 Olympic trials.
Still out in the lead right now. She's led wire to wire so far. In lane 2, it's Phoebe Renzik from Councilman Center. And she's got about a half a length of the pool left here.
And you were talking about that transition from short course yards to long course meters, and here's where it really pays off, where you were able to relax that stroke, find the meter, find swimming, not necessarily find racing, not about walls, not about stars, but find swimming, finding how to be relaxed as you race.
And I think Phoebe in lane 2, Renzik, is going to hang on and take the win close at the end. But she does take the win in lane 2. We'll see what her winning time was. 225.75. Second place in lane 5 to Mackenzie Lewis, 226.24. And third place in lane 7 to Alex Fees, 227.81. And that'll bring us to the B final here for these young ladies. 200-meter butterfly. In lane 1, Sophie Bader, 18-year-old from Jay County. Lane 2, Melissa Bailey, 15-year-old from the Northwoods Area Swimming Association. Lane 3, Abby Young, 17-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 4 is Carla Gildersleeve, a 15-year-old from Franklin Regional Swim Team. Lane 5 is Sydney Emerson, a 16-year-old from Northwoods Area Swimming Association. Lane 6, Ashlyn Underhill, 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7, Taylor Bush, 17-year-old from Pro Swimming. And Lane 8, Katie Ducker, a 17-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. Lane 9, Jacqueline Klimzik, 15-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. And Lane 10, Aubrey Hilburn, a 17-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. And Gildersleeve is your top seed, or I should say Sydney Emerson is your top seed here. And just to give you a time comparison here of what her time will be here in the finals compared to what she did in prelims. In short course yards, she swam at 2:06.57 to be seeded first in this final. We'll get a look at how much the time disparity is for meters. We'll see what the winning time is here in this event.
So there's not really a good, people say, well, what should you be going in yards compared to meters and vice versa? It's not the same race.
Yeah.
I mean, particularly in this long course butterfly, it's so much more swimming, a lot less walls, a lot less underwater kicking, and it is swimming in its truest form here. That's why when you watch some of these girls in this heat, they're working towards achieving our junior national time level, and those time standards they're trying to search for is that you 2:17.39, so anything in the low 20s, getting closer to those time standards for our summer junior national championships. Out here early, setting the early pace out here, it looks like lane number 4, at Gildersleeve. We've called her name quite a few times at the age group state championships, as she's broke numerous records. She is out first at the field.
Yeah, very strong start here.
106.83.
One of the more impressive starts we've seen so far in these first 3 heats.
The one thing that coaches try to really emphasize to your athletes here is don't set the tempo too fast too early. You're going to find that if your hips start dropping, there's an awful lot of water resistance underneath you, and you feel like you're pulling a boat behind you. If you can keep the head down, hips up, stay relaxed out front. Now here's where you see the race will get competitive on the last 75 meters of this race.
Yeah, 200 meters butterfly grueling event, swimming long course yards. As we take a look now.
All right, we got a good shot of our leaders coming back home.
It's like Gildersleeve still out in front in lane 4.
Coming over there in lane number 8. That Katie Ducker. Is that correct?
Yeah, she's in lane 8. She's making a move on this last half of the lap here. see if she has anything left for Gildersleeve. Gildersleeve a slight lead. I think she's going to hang on and take the win in lane 4. We'll see what her time is. Winning time here in the B final. 2:21.61 for Carla Gildersleeve. Second place in lane 8 was Katie Ducker with a time of 2:23.29. And in third place in lane 6, Ashlyn Underhill, 2:23.88. And we'll turn things over to Mike Miles. He'll introduce our 10 participants here in the A final for the women's 200-meter butterfly.
From Fast Tigers, Maggie Johns. 2 from Carmel Swim Club, Caroline Schultz. 3 from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Lauren Edelman. 4 from Duneland Swim Club, Vanessa Kraus. 5 from Carmel Swim Club, Veronica Burchell. 6 from Crown Point, Hannah Kukaruga. 7 from Carmel, Sammy Burchell. Lane 8 from Carmel, Trudy Rothrock. 9 from Carmel, Katie Durdy. And in 10 from Carmel, Jackie Pash. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your A final heat, women's 200 butterfly.
So there are your participants, and as they take to the blocks here for 4 lengths of the pool, women's 200-meter butterfly A final. Top seed in lane 5 is Veronica Burchill.
Veronica Burchill and Hannah Kukaruga from Crown Point, both on the national junior team. Vanessa Kraus, one of the top-end swimmers that has been on the national junior team as well in the butterflies. Again, short course yards this morning, long course meters at night. Let's see who makes the best transition. We've got 3 of the nation's top butterflyers in this field. And some of the up-and-comers that would love to knock them off. And we'll talk about an up-and-comer later on in the day on the boys' side.
Tony, it says meet record 2:10.37. Is that long course meter?
That's
record?
long course meters, and that's Hannah Kukaruga. She did that at the National Junior World Championships. And remember that many of these athletes are in different phases of their training here. They're not necessarily all peaked and tapered for this particular meet, knowing that Olympic trials is coming up in a few months. The coaches have them a little bit rested, but not enough that's going to take away from their training. Hannah Kukaruga, nice and relaxed on the way out. You notice how her body looks almost like it's a platform, and she just kind of pulls a flat body through the water. Feeling the nice high hips. Veronica Burchell really, really strong in the 100 butterfly, but really has a really widening out her repertoire. You can swim all distances and many more strokes than what you just see her in high school.
So out in the middle of the pool right now, the 2 top seeds, lanes 5 and 6, Veronica Burchell and Hannah Kukaruga, pretty much side by side as they come up on the completion of their 3rd lap. Touching almost at the same time. This is going to be a good finish here.
Yeah. It looks like Burchell took over the lead. They're on a under 2:15 pace. Over here it comes in lane number 1, 2, 3, 4. We're in a 10-lane pool. Sometimes we lose track, but here comes Vanessa Kraus from Duneland, really making a move here at the end as well.
Yeah, right next to him in lane 4. She had something left.
All right, Olympic trial time standard, 2:14.99. Can we get 3 people? Here comes Kraus.
He's going to win it. It's going to be lane 4. Kraus comes from behind on the last lap.
Wow, 3 Olympic trial time standards. 3 Olympic trial time standards. What a race.
Yeah, fabulous finish there. Vanessa Kraus in lane 4 wins it with a 2:13.59 from Duneland. Second place in lane 5 to Veronica Burchell, 2:13.67, and third place in lane 6 to Hannah Kukaruga, 2:13.96. Those 3 swimmers were separated by just about 3/10 of a second at the finish, and as Tony said, all 3 of them get Olympic trial cuts.
Now, last night we started out the women's 400 IM with 3 Olympic trial cuts right off the bat. Tonight, back-to-back, next night, 3 Olympic trial qualifying standards, and that is just an awesome way to start out the evening, and a great appreciation from the crowd here who loves swimming here in Indiana.
Yeah, and it also showed you long course meters as Vanessa Kraus was able to swim a race within a race. She swam her own race and came from behind at the end.
There you go. First heat of guys.
So we turn things now to the men in the 200-meter butterfly, the D final. In lane 1, Connor Glenn, 16-year-old from North Virginia Swimming Association. This first heat, D final 15 and 16-year-olds. Lane 2, Ethan Christopher, 16-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 3, Wesley Webb, 16-year-old from Councilman Center. Lane 4, Trey Cooley, 16-year-old from SWAC. Lane 5, Camden Lacey, 15-year-old from North Virginia Swimming Association. Lane 6, Jonathan Bledsoe, 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7, Harrison Jordan, 15-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 8, Max White, 15-year-old from Howard County Aquatics. Lane 9, Aaron Helms, 15-year-old from Noblesville Swim Club. And lane 8, in lane 10, it's Danny Schmeigel, 15-year-old from Dunlap.
A lot of these young men, this is the 15-16 heat, always our D heat, is a pipeline heat designed by our senior chair about 5-6 years ago to be able to give our athletes an opportunity to get more experience in finals. Going back to your point about Vanessa Kraus, and her experience and being comfortable, these guys have to learn the same thing. The only way you get that is through repetition in long course meter racing.
It's like out in lane 5 has the lead here. That's Camden Lacey early. Actually, excuse me, lane 6. Julian Norman with the lead. So lane 6.
It's like we got a wire to wire so far.
It's actually Jonathan Bledsoe from Carmel in lane 6 who's led this from the start. It's been an impressive swim by Jonathan in lane 6. We'll see if he can hang on here at the end, or will somebody come from off the pace and clip him here at the finish.
I think sometimes when you're out front and you feel good, you feel your momentum, and you feel like, I think I'd love to win this heat and get my name called by Mike Miles. There's a little added extra incentive there.
So, impressive win by Jonathan Bledsoe in lane 6 from the Carmel Swim Club. Takes the win. 2:15.03. Second place in lane 1 was Connor Glenn. And third place in lane 7 went to Jordan Harrison. In the C final, in lane 1, it will be Max Eden, a 19-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 2, Timothy Carter, 16-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 3, Christian McRutt, 15-year-old from Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 4 is Cam Kripe, 17-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. Lane 5, Noah Tallman. He's a 16-year-old from Center Grove Aquatic Club. Lane 6 is Julian Norman, a 15-year-old from SWAC. Lane 7, Logan Ackley, 18-year-old from Pro Swimming. Lane 8, Kyle Haflich, 16-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 9, Elliot Cooper, 15-year-old from Avon Community Swim Team. And in lane 8, Joseph Letcher, a 16-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. Here we go. It's the C final, and then 200-meter butterfly.
So some of these young men in this particular heat are looking to qualify for the Speedo Sectional Championships. The 2:16.19 is a huge goal. It is an opportunity to be able to start racing against those athletes at the next level. Speedo Sectionals, Futures Championships, then on to Junior Nationals, U.S. Open, Olympic Trials is the kind of the layers of USA Swimming, so to speak.
Pretty even race after the first length and a half here.
Pretty good close-up shot of our swimmers right now as you see them. You can see a little bit of white water. You don't want a big splash out front. You don't want any water kicking up super high out front. That means you're not entering relaxed. One of the things you want to do here is, as athletes, need to be able to be soft out front with minimal splash.
Lane 1 with the lead at the bottom of your screen. That's Max Eden after the first half of the race here.
And Max had a great short course yard swim this morning. I was there to watch it this morning. It was under 2 minutes in 200 yards, and having the opportunity to repeat it again tonight.
So Max Eden had the lead. Looks like second place in lane 5, Noah Tallman from Center Grove.
Looks like the middle of the pool right now, lane number 5.
So looks like the race is between Eden Tallman and also lane 2 getting into the picture as well. That's Timothy Carter here with about a half a lap to go. And I think Tallman out in the middle of the pool may have a slight lead now in lane 5 coming to the finish. He does. And so lane 5 again will take the win here. That's going to be Noah Tallman from Center Grove Aquatic Club. Winning time 2:12.75. Second place in lane 2 was Timothy Carter, 2:14.07. And in third place in lane 1 was Max Eden at the 2:16.03. Next up, the B final in this event. In lane 1, Jacob Bailey, 16-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 2, Ryan Horosic, 16-year-old from the Mako Swim Team. Lane 3 is Drake Stallworth, a 15-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 4, Wes Embry, 17-year-old from SWAC. Lane 5 is Jota Owasi, a 15-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 6, Jacob DeStromp, 15-year-old from Franklin Regional Swim Team. Lane 7, Camden Koch, 17-year-old from Northridge Area Swimming Association. Lane 8, Sam Hagdorn, 18-year-old from SWAC Swim Team. Lane 9, Joey Vineyard, 17-year-old from the Carmel Swim Club. And in lane 8, Chase Chastain, a 16-year-old from SWAC.
So if some of these names sound familiar to you, if you've been watching the broadcast on the IHSAA.org network, you're seeing some of the athletes from the high school state championship. Jacob DeStromp was one of the up-and-coming freshmen that we saw at the high school state championships. And as we go down through the field, many of the names that you saw, Jota Owasi, also a freshman from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers.
And the state finals for the guys were just a couple weeks ago at the IU Natatorium.
All right, now you talked about Vanessa Krause in that race strategy. They watch Jota Owasi here. And Jota is in lane number 5. Now he was a young 11, 12-year-old. He was just off the national record in this event at the Central Zone Championships.
We had DeStromp with a slight lead after the first 100.
So Jota's got a pretty good perception of just like Vanessa Krause. You know, how do I swim this race properly? Now, you don't want to start using up the legs. You're starting to see Jota start hammering the legs pretty early. He's trying to pick up his tempo and get back in the race. But he's just gradually pulling ahead here on the third 50, which is a crucial race strategy 50.
So we'll see who's got the endurance left here as they make the turn for home. Very close race.
And that is Jota, 33.25. He is the fastest swimmer in the pool on that 50. Could he break 2:10 here?
Yeah, he's got the lead now out in the middle of the pool, lane 5. So the question is, did he start his kick too early, or has he swum his race to perfection?
I mean, he's not as tall as many of the others, but he's tall in the water. He swims very efficiently. Futures time standard is 2:10.19. Let's see if he can get under that 2:10 barrier. We're at 2:05 underneath the flags.
So Jota Owasi is going to take the win. Next to him in lane 4, pretty strong finish by Hembry. Joseph Owasi with the win. His time 2:09.57. He does get under 2:10. Second place in lane 4 with a good finish was Wes Embry, 2:11.69. And third place in lane 6 to Jacob DeStromp with a time of 2:12.82. So the A final will be up next here for the men 200-meter butterfly. Your meet record 2:10. Or excuse me, your meet record is going to be 2:00.90. We'll turn things over to Mike Miles, who will introduce the participants.
Here's the lineup, starting lane 1 from Indian Creek Aquatic Club, Wyatt Brock. 2 Community Aquatics, Zach Cook. 3 from Warren Aquatics Club, Jackson Sindala. 4 from Three Rivers Aquatic, Gabe Swartzen. 5 for Northwest Aquatic, Jackson Kent. 6 swimming unattached, Bloomington Swim Club, Matthew Jordan. In 7 for Northridge Area Swim Association, Jeremy Berbering. In lane 8, also from Northridge, Seth Cripe. Lane 9 from Lawrence County Aquatics, Paul Gabbert. And in 10 from Avon Community Swim Team, Vince Partlow, your A final in the men's 200 butterfly.
So those are the participants. Your top seed from short course yards prelims is Jackson Kent in lane 5 from Northwest Aquatic Club, 17-year-old.
I would say that we have 3 or 4 young men that could probably have a good shot at this race. Gabe Swartzen is really strong 200-yard butterflyer. Kent Jordan, Seth Kripe, Jackson Sandala, who is more known as a freestyler, but also pretty adept at the 200 butterflyer as well. One of the top performers at the high school state was Sandala. The outside smoke there in lane number 10. Vince Partlow called his name a lot at the high school state championships. He's out 27-3-6. Love these young men searching for that elusive junior national time standard of 2:05.49. U.S. Open is 2:02.29, and Olympic trial time standard 2:01.99.
Yeah, Vince still hanging on to the lead out in lane 10 here after the first half of this race. This A final.
Vince is out under a minute. 59.45, only one in the field. It is. Let's see. He's always has a signature. I'm going to go out aggressively in all of his swims, including his freestyles. See how this pays off. Here comes Gabe Swartzen.
Lanes 4, 5, and 6 in an incredible battle for second place, and they're trying to haul in Vince here on the back half of this race.
We're learning a lot about strategy by watching these 8 heats of 200 butterflies and how these athletes that are patient listen to the coaches. Coaches don't tell you just to swim fast, they tell you how to swim fast. Oh, middle of the pool, Gabe Swartzen coming on over here. Again, great at short course yards, going to West Virginia next year.
There's the West Virginia colored cap in lane 4.
Is that Jordan out there in 6, right?
Yeah, he's making a move here in the final stage of this race.
Jordan taking over.
And it is going to be lane 6. Matthew Jordan taking the win from Bloomington Swim Club, swimming unattached at this meet. Winning time 2:06.89. Great finish by him. Second place in lane 4 with Gabe Swartzen, 2:07.91. Third place in lane 3, Jackson Sandala, 2:08.76. So our next event is going to be the women's 50-meter freestyle. And we start with the D final for 15 and 16-year-old young ladies. In lane 1, it'll be Claire Brewer, 16-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 2, McKenna Jewell, 15-year-old from Pendleton Swim Club. Lane 3, Rachel Young, 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4 is Emily Barnes, 15-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 5, Ella Pfeiffer, 15-year-old from Franklin Regional Swim Team. Lane 6, Carmina Armstrong, 15-year-old from Jasper Aquatic Club. In lane 7, Lauren Calais, 16-year-old from Duneland. Lane 8, Brenna Morgan, 16-year-old from the Kosciuszko Community YMC Sharks. Lane 9, Sammy Wapples, 16-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 10, Caitlin McPherson, 16-year-old from the Washington Township Swim Club. So it's one length of the pool, 50 meters for these young ladies. This race is going to be totally different than the prelim swim in short course yards this morning, because in short course yards this morning they had a turn. There's no turn tonight, Tony.
And in this race, just like in yards, and some things don't change, but the places change drastically in the last 5 meters of this race. One of the things we'll be able to do here is show you some great start action, watching the athletes in the middle of the pool, their stroke tempo, their head positions, how their breathing patterns in the middle are going to be a little bit different than in short course yards. In short course yards, you may see somebody not breathe the entire 50. Here we may see the athletes taking a little bit more oxygen in the middle of the pool so they can keep their head down and drive the finish. Maybe taking a little bit of a courtesy rest. So as we do that, let's recap our first event, maybe some team scores as we go through the first day.
It's like they're testing this timing system. Let's take a look at the women's 200-meter butterfly top 8 results. First place was Vanessa Kraus from Duneland, 159.91. Second place, Veronica Burchell from Carmel, 213.67. Again, Kraus was 213.59. Third place, Hannah Kukaruga from Crown Point, 213.96. Fourth place, Lauren Edelman from the Fast Tigers, 217.98. Fifth place, Sammy Burchell from Carmel Swim Club, 219.90. Sixth place, Trudy Rothrock from Carmel, 221.33. Seventh place, Caroline Schultz from Carmel, 221.59. Lane 8, Jackie Pash from Carmel, 222.56. In ninth place, it was Katie Doherty, 224.06. And in 10th place, Maggie Johns from the Fast Tigers, 224.40. And again, first, second, third place there, Kraus, Burchell, and Kukaruga all achieving the Olympic cut time there in that race. And current combined team scores now, Carmel Swim Club on top, 1,581.5 points. Second place, Fast Tigers, 638. Third place, North Virginia Swimming Association, 620. Fourth place, Duneland with 544.5. And fifth place, Northwest Aquatic Club, 453 points. So again, getting ready here shortly for the start of the D final in the women's 50-meter freestyle event. D final made up of 15 and 16-year-olds, and top seed here in this first heat. The D final will be Ella Piper from Franklin Regional Swim Team. So here we go, one length of the pool.
Times that we'll be looking forward to achieving these first two heats, those senior sectional time standards and the futures time standard 27:49. The athletes to reach that next level of swimming, and that is the Futures Championships sponsored by USA Swimming.
Of course, they're finishing down at the far end of the pool. It might be a little difficult for us to get a visual on who may exactly win this race. And lane 6 takes the win. Time of 27.73. Carmina Armstrong with that winning time.
And we just see her in the previous event.
Second place in lane 4 was Jewel McKenna. Time of 227.74. Third place in lane 3, Rachel Young, 27.86. In the C final, in lane 1, Megan Wimmer, 17-year-old from Munster Swim Club. Lane 2, McKenna Botteriff, 15-year-old from Pro Swimming. Lane 3, Lauren Parrish, 17-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 4, Grace Lupoy, 15-year-old from Howard County Aquatics. Lane 5, Ashlyn Walsh, 15-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Lane 6, Andrea Hannes, 17-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. Lane 7, Sydney Kerneck, 16-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 8, Abby Johnson, 17-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 9, Lauren Blanchard, 17-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. And lane 10, Abby Kirkpatrick, 16-year-old from South Bend Swim Club.
You can see it's 10 athletes all going off in unison, so the starter has a great responsibility to help give these athletes an equal start, but also getting them off the blocks quickly. A good starter means good times down at the other end of the pool. All right, when they get right here, now we're looking about 15 meters in. Looks like over there in lane number 7 or 8, that's lane 8. Abby Johnston stealing the heat.
Yeah, you're right, lane 8. Abby Johnson, winning time 27.37. Second place in lane 3 was Lauren Parrish, 27.69. And then third place in lane 6 was Andrea Hannes with a time of 27.82. In the B final, in lane 1, it's Natalie Mudd, 18-year-old from Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 2, Maddie Zeigert, 15-year-old from Pro Swimming. Lane 3, Lauren Miller, 16-year-old from North Virginia Swimming Association. Lane 4, Selena German, 17-year-old from Councilman Center. Lane 5, Trudy Rothrock, 16-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 6 is Allie Barnes, 18-year-old from Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 7, Zoe Toscos, 18-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 8, Megan Johnson, 17-year-old from SWAC. Lane 9, Courtney Kressel, an 18-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. And in lane 10, Reagan Rube, 17-year-old from Washington Township Swim Club.
See if any athletes in this heat can break that 27-second barrier. Great reaction time. Most of these athletes are used to swimming the 50 freestyle, so they've got the quick reaction time off the blocks. Looking for sub 27 in this particular heat. As you watch the athletes, if you're watching at home right now, again, that's lane number 1 at the bottom of your screen, lane 10 at the top. Seeing a lot of white water off the kick, which means they're very much using a lot of power in their legs, and they've got to have strong legs to be able to finish this race.
See who's going to take the win. It's going to be lane 5, Trudy Rothrock, 27 flat the time. Second place in lane 3 was Lauren Miller with a time of 27.07. And in third place in lane 1, it was Natalie Mudd with a time of 27.33.
Not a great tradition that we have in our Indiana Swimming Championship meets, and many of LSCs and states do around the country. It's the parade of athletes of your top 10 championship finalists.
And we'll turn things over to Mike Miles, voice of the pool deck, to introduce the 10 participants.
Club Claire Adams, 2 for Carmel, Kendall Smith, 3 for Southeastern Swim Club, Robin Clevenger, 4 for Carmel, Veronica Burchell, 5 for Washington Township, Carly Mercer, in 6 for Mako Swim Team, Anya Getters, 7 for Newland, Vanessa Kraus, in 8, swimming unattached Bloomington, Grace Haskett, 9 for Carmel Swim Club, Lexi Laird, and in 10 for Carmel, Grace Pangburn. Your A final heat, ladies and gentlemen, of the women's 50 free.
And Tony, a veteran swimmer, is the top seed. Carly Mercer, a 24-year-old, a very accomplished swimmer, both at the state level here in the state of Indiana and also collegiately.
Olympic trial time standard is what the young ladies in this particular heat are going for, 26.19. Your high school state champion is Robin Clevenger. Keep an eye on her in the middle of the pool. Carly Mercer out strong in the middle of the pool.
And in lane 6, it's Anya Goiters takes the win with a time of 25.82. A 15-year-old from Mako takes the race, a 15-year-old. Second place in lane 5, Carly Mercer, 26.22. And in third place in lane 4 was Veronica Burchell with a 26.38. But Anya Goiters, one of the 2 youngest swimmers in that race, takes the win.
And an Olympic trial time standard. Remember, that cut was 26.19. She already has that cut. But again, repeating it throughout the year, giving her the opportunity to get stronger and stronger in her confidence racing against fast fields.
So the guys will be up next in the 50-meter freestyle. D final, the 15 and 16-year-olds. Lane 1, Joel Kroll, 16-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 2, Andrew Rafalco, 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 3 is Parker Hirschberger, 16-year-old from Washington Township Swim Club. Lane 4, Scott Hodson, 16-year-old from SWAC. Lane 5, Chris Jovan, 16-year-old from Greenwood Community Aquatic. Lane 6, Zane Spurlock, 16-year-old from Cast. That's the Connersville area swim team. Lane 7, Riley Anderson, 16-year-old from SWAC. Lane 8 is Max Weiser, 15-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 9, Matthew Weber, 16-year-old from Pro Swimming. And lane 8 is Joe Moser, 16-year-old from the Fast Tigers.
Futures time standard, 24.89. So let's see if these young men in this first heat can start approaching breaking that 25-second barrier. Junior national time, 24.09. Olympic trial time standard, 23.29. Let's watch some of our top sprinters in the heat later. I think the athletes that have a great knack of getting off the blocks, not having to sit back on that fin, and we'll talk a little bit about the starting block later when we have an awards break, and how that's an advantage to our 50 freestylers, giving a lot of push off that back foot, giving them more momentum as they hit the water.
So heading to the finish here, this D final. Lane 5 with the win, that's Chris Jovan, 25.48. Second place in lane 2, Andrew Rafalco, 25.51. Third place in lane 3 was Parker Hirschberger, time of 25.68. In the C final, in lane 1 will be Mike Knutson, 17-year-old from Michiana Stars. Lane 2, Parker Brandenburg, 17-year-old also from Michiana. Lane 3, Kyle Massengale, 17-year-old from Bloomington Swim Club. Lane 4, Logan Elijah, 17-year-old from North Virginia Swimming Association. Lane 5, Cole Short, 17-year-old from the Michiana Stars. Lane 6 is Stefano Batista, 16-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7, Will Surf, 17-year-old from South Bend Swim Club. Lane 8, Brady Niles, a 19-year-old from Decatur County Sharks. Lane 9, Tate Gutierrez, 17-year-old from Franklin Regional Swim Team. And in lane 10, Jacob Cooper, 16-year-old from LaPorte Community Swim Club.
All right, again, looking for these young athletes to try to break the 25-second barrier. There's the young athletes in this field also mixed in with some high school juniors and seniors. A lot of sprint racing under their belt from high school season, mostly on relays if you're not in an individual event. But now looking in the middle of the pool, watch the strength in the middle part of that race over here in lane number 5. Looks like Cole Short.
Lane 5 with the win. Cole Short, as Tony said, 25.12. Second place in lane 6. Stefano Batista took second place with a time of 25.38. And in third place in lane 4 was Logan Elijah with a time of 25.50. In the B final, in lane 1 will be Chris Kenny. Lane 2, Aaron Heike. He's from the Maverick Aquatics. Kenny is from Viper Aquatics. Lane 3, Tyler Harmon from Zionsville. Lane 4, Sam Kravitz, 16-year-old from Duneland. Lane 5, Grant Sprout, 18-year-old from Avon Community Swim Team. Lane 6, Vince Partlow, an 18-year-old from Avon Community Swim Team. Lane 7, Ken Houter, 16-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 8, Ben McAteer, 16-year-old from the Lawrence Swim Team. Lane 9, Wes Slaughter, 17-year-old from Duneland. And lane 10, Kyle Morris, 18-year-old from the Irish Aquatics.
Now, 3 of the top high school sprinters in Sprout, Partlow, and Sam Kravitz all locked in battle in the middle of the pool right here. And they were competing against each other at the high school state championships. Like lane number 6 with the lead.
And lane 7 steals it right at the finish. Ken Howder with a time of 24.65. Second place in lane 6, time of 24.76 was Vince Partlow. And third place in lane 4 was Sam Kravitz with a time of 24.86.
All right, now this A final is going to have quite a mix of some of our top-end athletes, both in collegiate swimming as well as high school swimming. Some of the kids going on to dominate our high school championships, as well as some of the athletes, some of our older athletes right now. Danny Tucker, a former national champion in the 100 free.
Let's turn things over to Mike Miles.
2 for Newburgh Sea Creatures, Jake Heidecker. 3 for Northwest Aquatic Club, Ryan Husing. And 4 for Anderson Community Aquatics, Hunter Hoffman. 5 for Carmel, Drew Kibler. 6 for Zionsville, Jack Franzman. In lane 7, swimming unattached, Indiana, Chuck Destro. In 8, swimming unattached, Danny Tucker. Lane 9 for Mako Swim Team, Ryan Rosick. And in 10 for Duneland Swim Club, Gary Cospade. A final heat, men's 50 freestyle.
One of our top and young upcoming stars right now is Drew Kibler. He won the 100 freestyle last night, racing against some top college performers, but he's also going to be pressed in the middle of the pool by our high school state championship, Jack Franzman. They were only a tenth of a second apart in short course yards. Keep an eye on the Olympic trial time standard, 23:29. I know that's what they're going for here. Interesting difference of stroke patterns, high tempo rates. No breathing from about the last 25 meters. Let's see what the time is.
Lane 5 with the win, 23.59, Drew Kibler. Second place in lane 6, Jack Franzman, time of 23.65. Third place in lane 6. Actually, third place in lane 7, rather, was Chuck Destro with a time of 23.92. Second place in lane 6 was Jack Franzman.
Some great times there, just off the Olympic trial qualifying standard.
So we'll move on to the next event now. It's the women's 200-meter breaststroke. The D final.
We're probably going to see a little bit of what's called a courtesy rest here. Some of these athletes are going back-to-back events, and the coaches will go down and talk to our meet referee down there, George Behrens, who's one of the great senior championship meet referees, just knows how to control the coaches and the athletes and getting them to focus towards their best effort, runs a great meet. And he will be asked for a courtesy rest. My athlete just swam 10 minutes ago. Can you give him an extra 5 minutes, that 15 minutes, just to relax and recover from the previous events?
Yeah, of course, tougher tonight because you are swimming long course meters, not yards. And then also a little bit warmer outside than it normally is this time of year, probably about 15 degrees warmer than it should be, and it's hot in here, and so it's a tough day for swimming.
No, actually, you're right. And the outside temperature does sometimes affect when you've got a building that's been going through the winter. And the outside temperature zooms up. Sometimes it does make it a little bit more stuffy inside, but they've done a great job of cooling down this wonderful facility. Let's take a look at the facility while we have the opportunity. I'm going to ask my camera operator here to kind of give us a real wide shot and just give us a whole view of what the pool looks like starting from the starting end. Just going to take it way back and just give us a whole shot. Just give us a panoramic shot of what this facility looks like. And as we're going down the pool right here, you're seeing this is a 50-meter course. And what you see, as far as the sound, the lighting, wonderful lighting in this facility, very bright. Athletes can really see the course. And as she stops the camera right there and zooms in on that far corner, you're going to see that in that far corner there's a 25-yard warm-up, warm-down pool where the athletes are using, as we see in the back, very versatile. And right back in there is where a lot of the athletes are spending a lot of their time. So she's going back and zooming out and getting back to our racing competition.
And again, it's going to be the 200-meter breaststroke for the women, the 15 and 16-year-olds, the D final. In lane 1, August Hartzell, 16-year-old from Northridge Area Swimming Association. Lane 2, Madison Curtin, a 15-year-old from Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 3, Chrislyn Porter, 15-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 4, Phoebe Renzick, 15-year-old from Councilman Center. Lane 5, Lori McCormick, 16-year-old from Indian Creek. Lane 6 is Alex Bader, 16-year-old from Jay County Swim Club. Lane 7, Hannah Harley, a 15-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 8, Casey Ingram, 16-year-old from Fast Tigers. Lane 9 is Caitlin McPherson, 16-year-old from Washington Township Swim Club. And in lane 10, it's Lydia Schaefer, a 15-year-old from the Michiana Stars. So 4 lengths of the pool here, breaststroke. A lot of open water swimming here on this event, obviously. We're swimming at long course meters.
And again, this particular race is another one of just what we saw in the 200 butterfly. 2 short axis races this evening. 200 butterfly, 200 breaststroke. And I say, well, butterfly is really challenging. It takes a lot more strength. Don't think the 200 breaststroke isn't as challenging on the back half here. So these young ladies are swimming a lot more with a portion of their body underwater, working against a lot more drag. So technique becomes extremely important, particularly as how you take out your race. Gliding, you see these athletes glide a little bit longer, not as much tempo on the way out.
Yeah, I would think probably the legs and hips would be where you would start to maybe feel the fatigue in the back half of the race.
Lane number 7, our leader, Hannah Harley.
Harley's taking it out very nice, as Tony said.
In the 200 breaststroke, there's Futures time standard 2:43.79. Speedo sectionals 2:48.79. So these young athletes are looking to break that 250 barrier. Beautiful race right there. Lane number 7.
Yeah, we'll see if she's gotten too far ahead here. I mean, from her competition for anybody to take a run at her here.
She's 43.79, and she is almost a second and a half to 2 seconds faster than everybody else on that 50 split, which means that either she had a tight breaststroke swim in the morning, she loves long course, or she's just really going for a specific time, and Coach worked on pacing in the warm-up pool, and what pacing means, controlling. She took a peek at the scoreboard. I saw it.
So perhaps, yeah, she is going for a specific time. Tony hit that one right on the nail on the head, I think. But it's been a dominating race for her here in the D final. She's going to take the win.
Be under that 250 barrier. Get in there.
And she takes the win in lane 7. We'll see what it was. 2:48.09 her winning time. Second place in lane 4 was Phoebe Renzik with a time of 2:54.64. And third place in lane 3, Chrislyn Porter with a time of 2:55.51. In the C final, in lane 1, it will be Carolina Curarini, 17-year-old from the Hoosier Hills Otters. Lane 2, Allie Terrell, 15-year-old from the Franklin Regional Swim Team. Lane 3, Jen Gillen, 15-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. Lane 4, Laura Titzer, 17-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 5 is Reagan Tom, 18-year-old from Pacesetter Aquatics. Lane 6, Cameron Klemsick, 17-year-old from Duneland. Lane 7, Larissa Nana, 17-year-old from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. Lane 8 is Allie Sparing, a 16-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 9, Sarah Harley, 18-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. And in lane 10, it's Emma Roordans, a 17-year-old from the Fast Tigers. So again, if you're just joining us, lane 1 is at the bottom of your screen here at the Pike Aquatic Center. And lane 10 lanes at this beautiful pool, is at the top of your screen. And we're swimming from north to south in this pool. Going out, then coming back is from south, the opposite direction, south to north. And a tight race here right now. Nobody is pulled away from anybody after the first 50. As they get halfway through this second lap, we'll see who perhaps has the lead. It's really tough to tell. Maybe lane 1, actually. Curarini. Also watching out in the middle of the pool now as well, lanes 5 and 6. Starting to really make a move, lane 5. That's Reagan Tom. And she's moved into the lead. Actually, excuse me, lane 6 has the lead. That's Klemsick. So Cameron Klemsick with the lead in lane 6. And we'll see if she can make that hold up as she heads down to the far end of the pool now. So Klemsick in lane 6 makes the turn and now heads for home. Final lap of the race. This is the C final. Maybe watching lane 2 here coming home. That's Allie Terrell, perhaps making a bit of a move.
We got a tight field down here at the bottom of your screen. Sometimes we lose track of these races. There's no slow lanes in this pool.
I think Klemsick's still with the lead in lane 6. And no one has really made it to make it.
And notice how she really pushes that stroke forward and really gliding even into the finish, keeping the stroke nice and long.
So lane 6 with the lead, with the win, that was Cameron Klemsick with time 2:49.38. Second place in lane 2 was Allie Terrell with a time of 2:50.71. Coming in third in lane 3 was Jenna Gillen with a time of 2:51.29. In the B final, in lane 1 it will be Aubrey Wing, a 16-year-old from Duneland. Lane 2, Aaron Verbrugge, 15-year-old from the Viper Aquatic Swim Team. Lane 3, Carla Gildersleeve, 15-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 4, Hope Christie, a 17-year-old from the Washington Township Swim Club. Lane 5 is Sydney Emerson, a 16-year-old from Northridge Area Swimming Association. Lane 6, Jackie Pash, 17-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7, we'll see Hannah Kukaruga, 17-year-old from Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 8, Morgan Hicks, 16-year-old from Cardinal Community Swim Club. Lane 9, Claudia Crawford, a 17-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. And in lane 10, it's Brindley Barton, a 16-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. So Hannah Kukaruga is actually swimming both of the short axis strokes that Tony talked about here a few moments ago, the 200-meter butterfly, and now Tony Hannah's coming back again here in the 200-meter breaststroke here in the B final.
Some of our good young breaststrokers here looking for that futures time standard of 2:43.79. So let's take a look at splits on this one. Let's see if these athletes are out under 40 seconds. Let's see if they're out under the 120 barrier at the halfway point, searching for those low 240 times. Your leader in lane number 7 with a 36.87. It's Hannah Kukaruga testing out a new stroke.
Yeah, she's swimming probably maybe the two toughest races to swim today, the 200-meter butterfly and coming back in the 200-meter breaststroke.
Well, Hannah's a pretty good IMer. We saw that. We've seen it at multiple levels. And what she's doing at this point in time is, you talked about short axis, long axis, good butterflyer. You think she's got a good body position and good motion forward to be a good breaststroker as well.
And she's in lane 7. It looks like
fastest split in the pool goes to lane number 6, 42.2.
Jackie Pash.
Jackie Pash coming on in the second 50. Now, you talked about having strong legs, and this is one of those races where having a nice, good ankle flexibility, feeling the water on your feet, good body line at the end of the stroke. Can't swim a good short course yard breaststroke in this particular race. You got to have much better body line, not as much tempo, really reaching the stroke forward, reaching from fingertips to toes, and getting that nice streamlined body position within your stroke. Pass your leader now.
Pash is taking over the lead on that.
43.33. Fastest split in the pool.
She's in lane 6. We'll see if she can make the lead hold up here with about a half a lap to go.
There's a good shot of your leaders right there. You can kind of see the tempo rates, but see how the head dives down. Pash actually keeps that body line for almost a full second as she's gliding forward. You can see her body almost disappear underwater.
Emerson in lane 5 has had a good close. Also watching maybe lane 8 coming on strong at the end. That's Hicks. Lane 1 strong finish as well, Wing. But the win will go to lane 6 and Jackie Pash. Time 2:45.88. Second place came, lane 1 made a tremendous charge on the final lap and takes second place. That's Aubrey Wing, 2:47.41. And in third place in lane 5 went to Sydney Emerson with a time of 2:47.70. And that'll bring us to the A final for the women in the 200-meter breaststroke. And we'll turn things over to the voice of the pool tech, Mike Miles. He'll introduce our 10 participants in the A final.
In lane 1 from Lawrence Swim Team, Samantha White. 2 from Carmel Swim Club, Grace Estabrook. 3 from UTSC Typhoons, Gabby Gilliana. 4 for Cardinal Community Swim Club, Emily Weiss. In 5 for Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Lauren Edelman. In lane 6 for the Tigers, Olivia Johnson. In lane 7 for South Bend Swim Club, Abby Kirkpatrick. 8 for Crown Point Swim Club, Kelsey Ardham. In lane 9 for Irish Aquatics, Eslyn Walsh. And a 10 for Duneland Swim Club, Kelly Craig. Your A final heat, the women's 200 breaststroke.
So those are the finalists. Here we go. 4 lengths to the pool, 200-meter breaststroke.
Some of our top women breaststrokers in this particular field. Emily Weiss, who won the 100 breaststroke yesterday, expanding her repertoire. She's a high school state champion in the 100. Lauren Edelman with an Olympic trial time standard in the 400 IM last night. And keep an eye over here on Olivia Johnson, also an Olympic trial qualifier in the 400 IM. Abby Kirkpatrick from South Bend Swim Club could be a challenger here as well. 234.99 is the Olympic trial qualifying standard. That means those young ladies are going to have to be out at the 1:15 barrier or better to be able to achieve that time standard. It's like a little bit more of a strategic race going on tonight. Kind of hard to call the leader right now. It's like lane number 3 looking strong. And that is lane number 3 is Gabby Gilliam from UTSC Typhoons. Lauren Edelman making a move in the middle of the pool. Jiva really felt her breaststroke stroke yesterday in that 400 IM. 1:15.55 for Lauren. To be able to get that Olympic trial time standard, she's got to be back a 1:19. Let's see if she can go 39 lows on these 50 splits and have a shot at that Olympic trial time standard. Right now, she's taken over the field. Good rhythmic stroke. Edelman with about a 2-second lead right now before she comes into that far end turn. Looking for a 39.0 on this split. 40.2.
So we'll see if anybody has anything for Edelman on this last half of the lap. Very impressive so far.
Right now, Edelman still with almost a full 2 body lengths lead. Here comes Emily Weiss. Olympic trial time standard 2:34.99.
Johnson's had a good close in lane 6, but it's not going to catch Edelman. Edelman takes the win in lane 5. 2:36.07 for Lauren Edelman in lane 5, the winning time. Second place in lane 6, Olivia Johnson, 2:39.42. And third place in lane 4, Emily Weiss, with a time of 2:40.52. The men are up next in the 200-meter breaststroke, and it'll be the D final up first for the 15 and 16-year-olds. And Tony, I was watching the starting blocks on the start of that last race, and you talked about them earlier about how they have a push-off on the back. To me, we're here, of course, we're in Indianapolis. Look a little bit like an Indy car, actually, the starting block. And they have a lot of give on them here because the starting block actually serves as the bulkhead partition as well for the middle of this pool when it moves out, when they turn it into a 25-yard pool.
So you're saying we're getting a little slingshot action here? Could be. All right, this is your D heat.
In lane 1, it'll be Jack McCurdy, a 15-year-old from Three Rivers Aquatic Club. Lane 2, Andrew Fullwider, a 16-year-old from Brownsburg Swim Club. Lane 3, Patrick Cavanaugh, 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4, Jacob Brault, 16-year-old from Portage Porpoise Swim Club. Lane 5 is Brady Robinson, 16-year-old from Pro Swimming. Lane 6, Bailey Pyle, 15-year-old from Boilermaker Aquatics. Lane 7, Jake Myers, 15-year-old from Avon Community Swim Team. Lane 8, Trevor Salih, 16-year-old from North Virginia Swimming Association. Lane 9, Nathan Hicks, 15-year-old from Cardinal Community Swim Club. And in lane 10, Michael Nichter, a 16-year-old from SWAC.
Futures time standard here, 2:29.09. Edo sectional time standard, 2:36.19. It's like lane number 5, Brady Robinson from Pro. It's very comfortable on the way out, 39.0 on the split. 113.12 at the 100. So as we saw in the women's heats, we got to see the middle 50s starting to hit their paces. If they got to hit that 38.0s, the 37s, the middle 50s are the tell of whether or not they're on pace. So when the coaches are doing pace work, it's coming off that middle 50 split. That's the goal they're setting for the athletes. But it looks like over here in lane number 7, coming on strong.
Jack Myers is in lane 7.
Avon Community. Now, Jack popped up pretty quick off his underwater pullout. Didn't do an awful lot of underwater work there. And Brady still stayed long. Brady much stronger underwater, keeping the same race strategy of working his racing underwater as he would in short course yards.
Looks like we're going to have a close finish here. Also, maybe trying to get into the mix is swimmer in lane 6, Bailey Pyle, here at the finish. But it looks
here
like
comes Meyer.
Between Myers and Robinson.
Myers taking over the lead.
And lane 7. And he does. Takes the win. Jack Myers. Winning time, 2:34.64. Second place in lane 5 was Brady Robinson with a time of 2:34.98. And in third place in lane 6 was Bailey Pyle with a time of 2:36.50. In the C final, in lane 1 will be Evan Dyes, 15-year-old from Pro Swimming. Lane 2, Jordan Konecki, 16-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 3 is Frank Schumer, 17-year-old from the Brownsburg Swim Club. Lane 4, Will Savory, 17-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club, just up the road here. Lane 5, Luke Barrett, 17-year-old from Michiana Stars. Lane 6, Anthony Bernasco, 18-year-old from Michiana Stars. Lane 7, Greg Ligotes, an 18-year-old from Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 8, Parker Brandenburg, 17-year-old from Michiana Stars. Lane 9, Ethan Kyle, a 16-year-old from the Greenwood Community Aquatic Team. Lane 10 is Stephen Nowaksik, an 18-year-old from Munster Swim Club.
That's the time of that heat, 2:34.69, approaching that 2:29.09, the futures time standard. Let's see how many of these young athletes get to that next level in USA Swimming. That's their target time.
In lane 1 for Pro Swimming, Evan Dyes, 2 for Northwest Aquatic, Jordan Konecki, 3 for Brownsburg, Frank Schumer, 4 for Zionsville, Will Savory. I'm set 4 as Will Savory, lane 5 for Michiana Stars, Luke Barrett, 6 for the Stars, Anthony Bernasco, 7 for Crown Point.
Going out pretty fast here.
8 for Michiana Stars, Parker Brandenburg, 9 for.
Looks like Will Savory in lane number 4. Nope, actually lane number 7.
Greg Ligotes.
8, sorry, 8. 33.9.
Parker Brandenburg.
So if you're wondering why we're having a little trouble catching it, we're at the starting end of the pool. And we're watching 10 lanes, and sometimes we're having trouble picking out who the leader is from this far end of the facility, but we're getting some great shots for you from our camera crew here at the Pike Aquatic Center.
From the camera perspective, it's very nice looking down, but from our perspective, looking down at 10 lanes is a little difficult.
So us and our voice of the pool deck, Mike Miles, we have to rely on the scoreboard sometimes to know who's got those early leads.
Like lane 7 with the lead. Ligotes.
Beautiful stroke. Lane number 5. It's like Luke Barrett really free, staying wide out front, really pressing his legs through. If you're watching it at home, you're just seeing how long he's got that glide out front, saving his tempo for the end of the race, just like you saw the first heat, how the tempo increased on the last 50 itself. Beautiful stroke out there. Luke Barrett splits a 38.69. We were talking about that third 50 split and how important it was. He had the slowest tempo and 2 seconds faster than anybody else in the field. That's efficiency.
Pulling away right now.
Now you see his tempo start to increase. The goal is to increase tempo without losing efficiency and try to bring that time standard down. Again, time standards we're looking for, futures time standard 2:29.09.
So here comes Luke. We'll see what his winning time is in lane 5.
Just off.
2:30.42 for Luke Barrett, the winner. In second place in lane 8, it was Parker Brandenburg with a time of 2:36.95. And third place in lane 7 was Greg Ligotes with a time of 2:37.15. Next up, the B final. In lane 1, it'll be Parker Bull, 17-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 2, Matthew Van Koppenol, 17-year-old from North Virginia Swimming Association. Lane 3, Justin Ogle, 18-year-old swimming unattached from the Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4 is Ken Houter, 16-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 5, Brock Brown, a 16-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 6, Luke Ingram, an 18-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 7, Andrew Rafalco, 15-year-old Carmel Swim Club. Lane 8, Andrew Kushan, 16-year-old Carmel Swim Club. Lane 9, Jake Heidegger, 17-year-old Newburgh Sea Creatures. And Lane 10, Nathan Graff, 18-year-old from Mako.
Keep an eye on the middle of the pool in lanes 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's Ken Houter, Brock Brown, Luke Ingram, and Andrew Rafalco, who is a nice breakout swimmer at High School State. Luke Ingram loves that long course, but also who had a great night last night was Andrew Kushan. Let's see if he can bring back his race this evening the same way he finished off his long course races last night. And he's in lane number 8. It's like Ken Houter in lane number 4, your early leader. Didn't get any splits on the, well, maybe I missed him. Again, let's watch the race strategy here. No different than in the 200 butterfly. Rafalco over there looking nice and strong and easy on the way out. Houter with a little quicker tempo. Lane number 3 coming on strong. That's Justin Ogle.
Lane 6 as well.
All right,
Ingram.
38-0 split. Lane number 7. That's Rafalco. 1:11:51. Again, the futures time standard 2:29:09. Ken Houter still hanging in there.
Rafalco with the lead right now is lane 7. Tony talked about just a minute ago. And right next to him, though, looks like Ingram in lane 6 is maybe inching up on him.
Let's watch Luke Ingram's 50 split here. He's about 2 seconds off the pace at the 100. Let's see who's got. He's got a 37.51. That's 2 seconds faster than Rafalco. Taking over the. If he brings it back at a 15, he'll be in that low 226.
Won't be very close to the finish.
I know he's been working for the Junior National Cup, which is 2:23. Might not been out fast enough for that. Really building strong on the back half.
Right now, it looks like it's between Ingram and Rafalco in 6 and 7. They're really neck and neck here at the finish. Rafalco has come back, and they have taken the lead back after losing it in 7. And he comes back and takes the win. Andrew Rafalco had something left after he lost the lead. Swims a 2:28.40, takes the win in the B final. Second place in lane 6, Luke Ingram, 2:28.98. And in lane 4, takes third place. That was Ken Houter with a time of 2:30.45. And Rafalco had some race left at him once he got a challenge from Ingram there.
Here's our A final.
A final up next, and we'll turn things over to the voice of the pool deck, Mike Miles, who will introduce our 10 participants.
In lane 1 for Carmel Swim Club, Stefano Batista. 2 for Zionsville, Andrew Schuler. 3 for the Michiana Stars, Tom Grissy. 4 for Carmel Swim Club, Charles Vaughn. In 5 for Northwest Aquatic, Will Shrensky. 6 swimming unattached, Marat Amaladanov. In 7 for Duneland, Gary Cospade. In lane 8 for Northridge Area Swim Association, Spencer Lehman. In 9, also from Northridge, Jesse Drake. And in 10 from Warren Aquatics Club, Ethan Park, a finalist in the men's 200 breast.
Well, we got an interesting storyline here. Will Shrensky from NAX was your top qualifier in prelims. Marat Amaladanov was the athlete to keep your eye on right now. He is a sophomore at Purdue University. He is of Russian national, and he is going to be competing in his Russian Olympic trials, trying to make his Olympic team coming up in the middle of April. So watch this young man and just his efficiency. He's a great, some of these young men are getting an opportunity to swim against an elite swimmer. He's been working really, really hard. So We'll see if he puts up. He's got to put up a good time to have the opportunity to make his Olympic trial team. But watch how efficient he is and how he brings back the back half of his race.
Marat is in lane 6. Not sure what his Olympic trial cut is, but for the rest of these swimmers will be 2:18:39.
Well, you watch the tempo between Shrinsky right now compared to Marat. And Marat is taking about 1 stroke for every 1.5 that Shrinsky is taking. Shrinsky's going out, being aggressive, taking advantage of his competition right now. But I watched Marat in the Big Ten Men's Championship win the 200-yard breaststroke with a 1:52, and he just closes because he works so hard in practice, from what I understand. He just wants that hard work, and it pays off, and he's looking right now at 106.50, lane number 6. Let's watch the third 50 here. And you look how efficient he is. Look how wide he stays out front. He's going faster without having to turn over much faster.
Yeah, we'll see if Shrinsky can stay with him now here as we get towards the back half of this race. Shrinsky in 5 and Almatinidov in lane 6.
So Marat in his 200-yard breaststroke this morning was taking 4 strokes per length. That shows his efficiency. His split, 34.80. Looking for about a 2:14, 2:15. And here's where his strength is. Right here in the last 50. He's one of the few breaststrokers that you see that can really finish faster on his last 50 than his third 50.
Now, Marat Almatdinov is really pulling away on this last 50.
Shrinsky hanging on to second place here with a good time.
Here comes Marat. He's going to win the A final 200-meter breaststroke. We'll see what his winning time is. In lane 6, unattached swimmer. Tony said he attends Purdue University, 2:16.09. Good swim by Marat. Second place in lane 5, Will Shrinsky, 2:21.31. And in third place in lane 7 was Gary Cospe with a time of 2:23.87.
Well, just kind of show you how good Will Shrinsky's time was, racing for second place against that high-level competition, a junior national time standard for Will Shrinsky there as well. All right, now we're going to awards.
And we'll have those awards presentations for you. They'll be over on the far side of the pool by the cool-down pool area. There's a podium, awards podium over there. We'll get a shot of that for you, and we'll also turn things over to Mike Miles, the voice of the pool deck. And he'll announce the, I believe the top 8 finishers, I think, get to the awards podium here for this event, the 2016 Indiana Swimming Senior Short Course Championships, sponsored by Speedo. Still to come after the awards break, we're going to have the 400-meter freestyle. And then we'll wrap things up with the 100-meter backstroke events. Only one backstroke event here this evening. And it's a quick race. It's only 2 lengths to the pool, 100 meters. .400-meter freestyle will be the equivalent of the 500. If we were swimming yards here this evening, but we're not. They swam yards this morning, so they would have swam the 500 this morning. But that'll be our next event. It will be the women's 400-meter freestyle. Let's turn things over to Mike Miles for an awards presentation.
To the deck, the top 10 finishers in the women's 200 butterfly. In 10th place this evening from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Maggie Johns. 9th place from Carmel Swim Club, Katie Dirty. 8th place from Carmel, Jackie Pash. 7th from Carmel, Caroline Schultz. 6th place from Carmel, Trudy Rothrock. 5th place from Carmel, Sammy Burchell. Fourth place for Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Lauren Edelman. Ladies and gentlemen, our top three finishers here, swimming fast enough to better the Olympic trial cut time. In third place from Crown Point, Hannah Kukaruga. Placing second from Carmel, Veronica Burchell. And a 2016 Indiana Senior Short Course champion, or long course, in the women's 200-meter butterfly from Duneland, Vanessa Kraus, in a time 2:13:59. And now, coming up onto the awards podium, your top 10 finishers in the men's 200 butterfly. In 10th place from Indian Creek Aquatic Club, Wyeth Brock. 9th place from Lawrence County Aquatics, Paul Gebert. 8th place for Northridge Area Swim Association, Seth Kripe. 7th from Avon Community Swim Team, Vince Pertlow. 6th place from Greenfield Community Aquatics, Zach Cook. 5th place from Northwest Aquatic Club, Jackson Kent. 4th place from Northridge Area Swim Association, Jeremy Burbrink. 3rd place from Warren Aquatics Club, Jackson Sandala. Finishing second from Three River Aquatic, Gabe Swartzen, and a 2016 Indiana Senior Long Course Champion in the men's 200 fly, swimming unattached for Bloomington Swim Club, Matthew Jordan, in a time 2:06:89. And now, coming up to the awards podium, top 10 finishers in women's 50-meter freestyle. In 10th place from Carmel Swim Club, Grace Pangburn. 9th place from Carmel, Claire Adams. 8th place from Carmel, Lexi Laird. 7th from Carmel, Kendall Smith. 6th place, swimming unattached, Bloomington Swim Club, Grace Haskett. 5th place from Duneland, Vanessa Kraus. 4th place from Southeastern Swim Club, Robin Clevenger. 3rd place from Carmel, Veronica Burchell. Placing second from Washington Township, Carly Mercer. And a 2016 Indiana Senior Long Course Champion in the 50 free from Mako Swim Team, Anya Getters, in a time 25:82. At 25:82, bettering the Olympic trial cut standard. So we'll be seeing her in Omaha later on this summer. And now ready for the award presentation of the men's 50 free. In 10th place from Duneland Swim Club, Gary Cospade. 9th place from Mako Swim Team, Ryan Rosick. 8th place from Newburgh Sea Creatures, Jake Heidecker. 7th from Carmel Swim Club, Andrew Kushan. 6th place from Northwest Aquatic Club, Ryan Husing. In 5th place, swimming unattached, Danny Tucker. We had a tie for 3rd place. Swimming unattached from Indiana, Chuck Destro, and for Anderson Community Aquatic, Hunter Hoffman. Your 2nd place finisher from Zionsville, Jack Franzman, and the 2016 Indiana Senior Long Course Champion in the 50 free from Carmel Swim Club, Drew Kibler, in a time 23:59. And now the award presentation for the women's 200 breaststroke. In 10th place from Crown Point, Kelsey Ardham. 9th place from Lawrence Swim Team, Samantha White. 8th place from Irish Aquatics, Eslyn Walsh. 7th from Duneland, Kelly Craig. 6th from UTSC Typhoons, Gabby Gilliana. 5th place from Carmel Swim Club, Grace Estabrook. 4th place from South Bend Swim Club, Abby Kirkpatrick. 3rd place from Cardinal Community, Emily Weiss. Finishing 2nd from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Olivia Johnson. And a 2016 Indiana Senior Long Course Champion in the women's 200 breaststroke. Also from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Lauren Edelman. In a time, 2:36.07. Coaches and swimmers, we want to let you know that seated heat sheets with the approximate start times are now available for pickup at the head table at the south end of the pool. Again, coaches and swimmers participating in tomorrow's distance events, the seated heat sheets and the approximate start times for those heats are now available for pickup at the head table at the south end of the pool. Ready now for our final award presentation of this break, that in the men's 200 breaststroke. In 10th place from Northridge Area Swim Association, Jesse Drake. 9th place from Warren Aquatics, Ethan Park. 8th place from Carmel Swim Club, Stefano Batista. 7th place from Northridge Area Swim Association, Spencer Lehman. 6th place from Zionsville Swim Club, Andrew Schuler. 5th place from the Michiana Stars, Tim Gressy. 4th place from Carmel, Charles Vaughn. 3rd place from Duneland, Gary Cospade. Placing second for Northwest Aquatic Club, Will Shrinsky. And the 2016 Indiana Senior Long Course Champion of the men's 200 breaststroke. He did it in a time bettering the Olympic trial cut time standard, 2:16.09, Murat Amaldanov. At this time, we need all of our timers and officials back into their positions. Need our first heat behind the block.
Well, Eric Eaton and Tony Young back with you after the awards break has concluded. We're going to resume swimming here with the women in the 400-meter freestyle. The final will be up first. This will be 8 lengths to the pool. In lane 1, it'll be Ellie Kite, 16-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 2, Brenna Morgan, a 16-year-old from Kosciuszko Community YMC Sharks. Lane 3, Darby Coles, a 16-year-old from Donner. Lane 4, Katie Craig, 15-year-old from Dunlin. Lane 5 is Avery Brooks, 15-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 6, Mackenzie Lewis, 16-year-old from Bloomington Swim Club. Lane 7 will be Maddie Nunn, a 16-year-old from the Port Community Swim Club. Lane 8, Aaron Farley, 16-year-old from Carmel. Lane 9, Rachel Sanquinetti, 15-year-old from Power Aquatics. And in lane 10, it's Claudia Pobans, a 16-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club.
So this is one of those events where not only the perceived short course to long course transition happens, but it is a perceived 500-yard freestyle to 400 meters.
Yeah.
So there is a little differences in the distance, but it is a comparable distance, what they call middle distance in USA Swimming. So what we're focusing on right now with these young athletes is, as we saw in the 200 freestyle, a little bit more control on the front half of the race. Watch the third 100. Now these athletes attack the third 100, building that first 200 freestyle.
And, of course, a little bit different mindset. I don't know if it changes the strategy any bit, Tony, but a lot less walls to attack and turns in this race than you would in the 500.
Well, and you kind of wonder, that's a great point, because do the legs fatigue because of all the push-offs of the turns? Absolutely they do. So if the athletes control their legs on the front half of this race, will they have a little bit more energy stores left on the back half? So, yes, very much different race without those walls. But we're hoping that it brings faster times in the back half of these 400-meter freestyles.
And, of course, the whole idea of it is to give these young ladies a chance to achieve an Olympic cut in the 400.
And remember that what we swim here this year is a building point for 2020. A lot of our young athletes in the pipeline here are gaining valuable experience for their collegiate careers, for potential national teams, for swimming at summer nationals. And this is what these young ladies are in here for, valuable experience. And when you're here and you make finals and your competition is sitting home, you are gaining an advantage, not only physically, but through experience.
Now it looks like the early rabbit, if you will, maybe out in lane 6. That's Mackenzie Lewis.
Mackenzie Lewis, one of the state finalists in the 500-yard freestyle at the IHSAA Championships. You know, it'd be interesting, and again, we talked about it after night 1. Do we start seeing the athletes become more comfortable in long course meters as far as their control goes? And we saw that in the first few races tonight. Mackenzie Lewis from Bloomington Swim Club. Looks nice and controlled and comfortable.
And the rest of the field is pretty much right together, so she's gone out. More
good camera shot there. You can see that in our good camera crew is again showing you that lead right there that Mackenzie has going into the 200. Now the key here is how close can you split your 200s. 2:15 on the way out, pretty close to it. 35:86 at the split.
And, of course, the rest of the field's got to maybe be a little bit careful that they don't get too far behind because they're already halfway through this race.
That's a really good point. Sometimes too much control means that you're not going to hit your goal time. So you got to be in the race to be in the race, right? Futures cut to 28:79 for the women's long course freestyle. That's a pretty good time standard for futures. It means you got to be out under 2:15 on the way out. Junior Nationals 4:21. Mackenzie Lewis, 35.7. Still the fastest swimmer. No, actually, lane number 7 is right now the fastest swimmer in the pool.
That would be Maddie Nunn.
Maddie Nunn.
Lewis still more than 2 body lengths away, with the lead out in lane 6.
So pretty good race strategy over there by Nunn. You can see her in the camera screen starting to inch away at Mackenzie Lewis, but she may run out of pool.
In lane 1, Ellie Kite, pretty good swim by her. She's right in that battle for second place.
35.5 for Lewis on the 50 split, right at a 1:11 pace. She really picked up that 50.
Got a lap and a half to go now for Lewis out in lane 6. She's led it wire to wire here in the D final for the 15 and 16-year-olds in this 200-meter freestyle.
You know, it's interesting to see
400-meter, excuse me.
Right, you see her, a quality swimmer like Mackenzie Lewis in the D heat here and winning it by, 4, 5, 6 seconds. You know, she may have swum an additional event in the morning that caused her to be tired in the morning swim that just didn't get her into the top heats, and now she's rested and really ready to show what she's made of in a final swim.
Yeah, pulling away now here on the back half of the race. No one's going to catch her. The battle's going to be for second place. It looks like maybe lanes 3, 4, and 7 in a pretty good tight battle for second place.
Speedo sectional time standard 4:36.09. Can she get that?
Mackenzie Lewis with the win in lane 6.
33.95 on her split. Yes, she does get that Speedo sectional time standard.
4:35.78 the winning time for Mackenzie. Second place in lane 1 went to Ellie Kite. Time of 4:43.47. Coming home third in lane 7 was Maddie Nunn with a time of 4:43.60. That'll bring us to the C final now for the 400-meter freestyle for these young ladies. In lane 1, Savannah Kennedy, 15-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 2, Morgan Booth, also a 15-year-old from Fast. Lane 3, Haley Jones, 17-year-old from Avon Community. Lane 4, Ella Pfeiffer, 15-year-old from Franklin Regional. Lane 6, Carissa Snyder, 16-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 6, Gretchen Kraus, 15-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 7, Emma Roordans, 17-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 8, Emily Thrasher, 18-year-old from SWAC. Lanes 9 and 10 are a couple pace setter aquatic athletes. Lane 9, Haley Dixon, a 15-year-old, and lane 10, Adeline Dixon, I assume her sister, a 17-year-old.
So as we checked the scores earlier, it was Carmel, Fishers, and Northridge all in Duneland, also in the top 4, battling it out for those top 4 spots, and we're seeing a lot of these young athletes in the 15-16 heat does not score. That D heat does not score. That's by design. Those athletes are encouraged to get into point scoring positions in the top 3 heats, and right here the top 5 in this heat will score. So there are points being battled for in this C heat, not just swimming for experience.
And we don't have anybody pulling away early in this heat so far, at least after the first length and a half.
It's Ellie Pfeiffer that was the leader with a 34.1 from lane number 4. Eric, you and I have been calling races for how long now?
Oh, over 10 years.
Over 10 years now, and you and I have seen these young swimmers grow up, calling the age group state championships all the way up to Speedo sectionals and NCAAs we've called. So we're watching these young swimmers grow up right before our eyes, and we get to know them a lot better than watch an awful lot of racing, don't we?
Yeah, we sure do, and we've seen some really accomplished swimmers come through the state of Indiana here at the age group level while we've been calling these races.
So they're not unfamiliar to us. So we watch their race strategies, their styles, their levels through. So some of these swimmers we have followed for quite a period of time, so we kind of know how they handle their race strategies and some of their tendencies sometimes. Not as good as their coaches and their parents, but I can guarantee you that we're cheering for everybody in Team Indiana.
It looks like out in the middle of the pool is lanes 4, 5, and 6 right now. It looks like maybe where the race is. Maybe lane 4 with the lead right now, as Tony talked about. Ella Pfeiffer still out front. But she's being challenged now over the swimmer right next to her in lane 5. That's Snyder.
All right, Snyder kind of building the race. Fishers Area Swimming Tigers athletes really have a good foundation for middle distance. So they know how to swim the back half of the races. But coming on strong in lane number 5 as well is Gretchen Kraus. Fastest swimmer in the pool, 36.1. Sorry, I think I missed that split. 2:19.0 for lane number 5. And that is Carissa Snyder. All right, 2:19. Let's see how close Carissa can bring home those second 200. 2:19, 2:20 would be a great split.
It looks like maybe she took it out and just kind of maybe stayed within her race, and then now is starting to build into her race, and the race is coming to her, and she's taking and moving out to about over a body length lead now.
And, you know, for the fan at home, knowing what long course times is in the winter time after you've been watching so much short course yard swimming, the athletes do, the coaches do. As you walk across the pool deck, coaches will have the time standards up on the walls, so these athletes are setting goals in long course meters.
So Snyder about 3/4 of a body length lead now.
So if Snyder's going to bring home let's say that she wants to be within 1 and 2 seconds difference of her first and second 200. We're looking for a 2:20 on the back half. It's got to be a 35 split here, and she is 35.77. More like a 1:11 pace, but she'll bring it home strong on the last 50 to balance it out. Good closing speed here. We've talked about that numerous times, how important that last 100 right now is, and not losing the efficiency when you build your tempo.
So about a lap and a half to go now for Carissa out in lane 5. Looks like the swimmer next to her in lane 6. Kraus is in second place.
.35.62. Kraus with a 35.5. Just inching away, but might not have enough pool left to catch her. But we've seen people catch athletes by almost 2 seconds on splits so far in the racing competition tonight.
Lane 3, pretty good closing speed, it looks like. Haley Jones, I don't think she's going to get the win, but maybe might come close for second.
I think Hallie's from Avon, right?
That's correct. The win will go to Carissa Snyder in lane 5.
Good closing speed by Hallie, but again, 2:19, 2:20 for your winner of that heat, Carissa Snyder. So that's a great way to approach the race. Very balanced swim.
4:40.45 winning time for Snyder. Second place in lane 3, Hallie Jones with a time of 4:41.90. And third place in lane 6 was Gretchen Kraus with a time of 4:41.91. That'll bring us to the B final now. In lane 1, it will be Melissa Bailey, a 15-year-old from Northridge Area Swimming Association. Lane 2, Sam Hyatt Pass, 15-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 3, Megan Johnson, 17-year-old from SWAC. Lane 4, Ashlyn Underhill, 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5 is Kylie Myhawk, 17-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 6, Kayla Molnar, 17-year-old from South Bend Swim Club. Lane 7, Erin Verbrugi, 15-year-old from Viper Aquatics. Lane 8 is Kit Hanley, 17-year-old from Washington Township. Lane 9 is Elizabeth Peskin, 18-year-old from the Fast Tigers. And lane 10, it's Hannah Taylor, a 17-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club.
Let's keep an eye on the middle of the pool. Kylie Myhawk, your second-place finisher at the IHSA State Championships in the 200 freestyle. And also Kayla Molnar and Erin Verbrugi, good distance swimmers, so let's watch and see their closing speed as well.
And a good tight race so far after the first 50.
All right, now we're seeing some very experienced swimmers here. Out in lane number 6, just nice and relaxed on the way out. That's Kayla Molnar. South Bend Swimming, middle of the pool. Kylie Myhawk in 5. Nice and controlled. 105s on the way out on the first 100. They don't look like they're working that hard right now, but that's a good sign of a great swimmer. You don't look like you're working hard, but the splits are fast. All right, let's watch their race strategy as they hit the 200 coming up after this turn down at the other end. Learning how to be patient. Key part to great swimming, to elite swimming.
Yeah.
Lane number 4 having a great swim also.
Yeah, it looks like
Ashlyn Underhill.
lanes 2, 3, and 4 are pretty much trying to stay right with each other. They almost know that they're all competing at least together here early in the stages of this race.
Having confidence isn't necessarily meaning, and controlling doesn't mean going slow. Now watch them build their tempo into this wall. Great sign here, these young athletes. Build the momentum so they're bouncing off the wall, headed in the other direction. Lane number 4, that's Underhill with the fastest 50 split, 34.3. This is where MyHawk strength is, in the middle of the pool. Middle of the race, sorry.
So MyHawk out in lane 5, continuing to lead, but being pressed hard by the young ladies on both sides of her right now. Underhill in 4 and Molnar in 6. When the young ladies make the turn down here at the starting line end of the pool this time, there's just 100 yards left. Really good race. Lanes 4, 5, and 6 right now. Underhill in 4, MyHawk in 5, and Molnar in 6. Let's see if somebody's got a kick left in this final 100 meters. Slight lead for Underhill now as she makes the turn with 100 meters to go.
It's like Underhill made a heck of a move with a 34.0 split.
Now MyHawk can see her. She's breathing out of the right side, so she can see that Underhill has moved ahead of her a little bit.
Now those far in turns, you don't get a great perception, but when they come out past the flags, still racing underwater past the flags is a key component. Using your push-offs. It's not just closing speed with your swimming in between the flags. You've got to race the turn. It's the only one you got.
It'll be a good finish here. See if MyHawk has anything left for Underhill in the final half lap. She may.
MyHawk, a little bit of pride here on the back 25. Let's see if she's got it. To your point, Underhill.
It'll be a bang-bang finish here between MyHawk and Underhill. Who's going to outtouch who at the end of the 400? It will be Underhill who hangs on in the closing stages. 4:31.70 for Ashlyn Underhill. Second place in lane 5 was Kylie MyHawk. 4:32.11, and third place in lane 6 was Kayla Molnar with a time of 4:33.03. So that'll bring us to the A final now. 10 finalists for the 400-meter freestyle. We'll turn things over to the voice of the pool tech, Mike Miles, to introduce the finalists.
And the lineup, lane 1 from Avon Community Swim Team, Natalie Myers. 2 from Pace Center Aquatics, Rachel Walker. 3 from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Maggie Johns. 4 from Carmel Swim Club, Morgan Miller. 5 for Northridge Area Swim Association, Katie Hughes. 6 for Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Olivia Johnson. 7 from Carmel, Emma Norden. In 8 for Duneland Swim Club, Lauren Calais. In lane 9 for Carmel Swim Club, Katie Doherty. And in 10 for Mako Swim Team, Maddie Johnson. A final heat of the women's 400-meter freestyle.
So here we go, 8 lengths of the pool. Finals for the women in the 400-meter freestyle, a final.
Olympic trial time standard 4:17.99. There is one swimmer in the pool that does have that, and that is Emma Norden out of lane number 7. Olivia Johnson having a great meet. Achieved her Olympic trial time standard in the 400 IM last night. She is your top qualifier out of short course yards from the morning swim. Again, if you're watching our finals here tonight, they're in long course meters, although you're watching the Indiana Swimming Senior Short Course Championships, We're just trying to keep you on your toes, folks.
No, there won't be a test after the broadcast.
4:08.13. The trial cut time for the women's 400 freestyle. 4:17.99.
All right, out here it looks like lane number 7. That is Emma Norden from Carmel. She achieved her Olympic trial time standard last June, I believe it was. Look how beautiful and smooth she was. Now, you saw her in the high school state championships, again, repeating as a champion in the 500 freestyle, 31.30 on her first 50 split. Her second 50 split, she's 1:01.0 on the way out. Now, Emma, while repeating as a state champion, did it while she was sick, being down with the flu and still coming in and giving a great effort and bringing home the gold in the 500 freestyle at IHSAA. But it goes to show you what Olympic trial qualifier looks like, because they're aggressive, trying to hit those paces, get as close to the best time as you can. Olympic trial's not too far out, and she knows she's going to be there. 31.89. What a great split.
Of course, Emma and her Carmel high school teammates, they won their 30th consecutive Indiana State High School Girls Swimming Championship.
Over here in lane number 5, still battling it out for second place. That's Katie Hughes, who also had a great high school state meet. All right, Norden here looking for the 4:17. She is ahead of pace. 32.2, a 2:05 on the way out. That's good enough to win the 200 freestyle in most meets. Again, when we're seeing some of our top athletes in the pool, you can see that our Olympic trial qualifier standards, we watched some of our elite swimmers, and they show why they're elite.
Yeah, this is a race where you said, of course, Emma's already got her Olympic trials cut, but it's really a race now where she's racing against the clock as no one else is even in the same stratosphere as her right now.
32.7. Again, Olympic trial qualifying standard 4:17.99. She wants to get back into that racing mode. When she gets to Olympic trial, she wants to be at her peak. Looks like her legs are strong, so she's recovered well.
Great kick, really good kick.
Recovered well. Still over here, the fight. Look at the fight now for second place. Lanes 3, 4, 5, and 6. All neck and neck. All right, Norden's going to split at about a 3:10, 32.8. She's holding 105s. Still strong legs. Looks like right now Olivia Johnson taking over second place with a 33.7 split. Really controlled the front half, not worrying about being drug out too fast by Emma Norden, swimming her race.
Yeah, she's in lane 6. She's moved out to about a half body length lead in that battle for second, but still way behind Norden. Norden's getting ready to make a turn at the far end of the pool and come for home.
See if Norden can split 32 here again. 33.3. She's got good closing speed. Let's see if she can get home under that 4:17.99 barrier. Sometimes when you're out there swimming by yourself, your mind wanders just a bit. You're worried more about how you feel than how you're racing. You're that far ahead, you got to really stay focused either on your coach on the side of the pool or really keep in mind what you do every day in practice.
Well, Emma coming towards the end of this race here. We'll see what her winning time is out in lane 6.
Got to get into the flags on in, no breathing on the last 4 strokes, and she's got it.
Yeah, she gets under that Olympic trial time, wins it in lane 7. 4:16.75 for Emma Norden in lane 7. Second place in lane 6 was Olivia Johnson with a time of 4:25.19. Third place in lane 4, Morgan Miller, 4:26.53. Fans enjoying to hear an Olympic trials cut being made. And the men are up next. Same event, 400-meter freestyle, 8 lengths of the pool. D final for 15 and 16-year-olds. In lane 1 will be Ryan Jakowiak, 16-year-old from Concord Swim Club. In lane 2, Joda Owasi, 15-year-old from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 3, Kristen McRutt, 15-year-old from Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 4, Joseph Letcher, 16-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5 is Caleb Parker, a 16-year-old from the Washington Township Swim Club. Lane 6, Aiden Maurer, a 15-year-old from South Bend Swim Club. Lane 7, Alexander Mankey, 16-year-old from Lawrence County Aquatics. Lane 8 is Luke Lobring, a 15-year-old from Bloomington Swim Club. Lane 9 will be Max White, 15-year-old from Howard County Aquatics. And lane 10, Nick Brower, 16-year-old from Viper Aquatics.
Men shooting for that future, the sectional, Speedo sectional time standard in this heat, 4:16.89. For the young athletes that are trying to make the Olympic trial time standards, they want a ticket to the show. For the people that are preparing for Olympic trials, if you can swim an Olympic trial time standard without having to fully rest and taper at this point of the year, getting more experience here in the beautiful Pike Aquatic Center, you are preparing for potentially getting a second swim. And Emma Norden is one of those young athletes that could potentially have a second swim at Olympic trials at the end of June.
Yeah, that would be quite an accomplishment. Right now, after the first 100 of this race, it looks like lane 6 out front, Aiden Maurer.
You know, he looks particularly long. I mean, he's using his legs a little bit on the way out. It looks like he's catching a lot of water with one side of his body. Really getting a pretty good pull here. The young men in this heat using a lot of tempo to get out in the front part of your race, where we see in the last 2 heats, we see a little bit more slower defined efficiency. So let's see how this pans out. When you look for an athlete, we're watching athletes as they swim back towards us. We're looking about to see how tall they are in the water. Not necessarily how tall they are in stature, but how long do they make their strokes? They give the illusion that they're 6 foot tall when they're only 5'8".
Maurer still out in front, lane 6 right now. Lane 7 trying to pull up on him a little bit. That's Alexander Mankey.
The one thing you love about this heat, these guys look like they love to race right now. They're looking at each other and just pulling themselves down. 34-4, 34-0 for Mankin in lane number 7.
Well, Maurer trying to win this one wire to wire. He's out in lane 6.
Well, let's watch and see who has the fastest 50 split right here on this one.
So far, no one's really made an aggressive move at Maurer yet. Let's see.
Let's say lane number 5, 33.85. Lane number 5 there is Caleb Parker from Washington Township. Looked like he made a good move there. Again, race not over here at the 300.
No, it is not.
Top 2 guys don't want to lose sight of Caleb Parker here in lane number 5 as he's coming on strong. Don't miss out here in lane number 2.
That's Awasi.
And we saw Joda in the 200 butterfly earlier.
Yeah, he's moved up and may actually have taken the lead. I know it's close, but with him and Maurer right now.
So down at this turn in that you just watched, pretty deep water down here, but particularly off the start, particularly off the turn. Awasi picked up his tempo quite a bit on that 50. He splits a 33.5, but 33.3 in the middle. Oh, 32.8 over there in lane number 8. Lane number 8's Luke Loring from Bloomington.
Yeah, looks like Awasi may have the lead here in lane 2. We'll see if he can make it hold up. Just under a half lap to go here.
Hey, check out the racing here in this heat. We never get bored in the 15-16 heats. These guys love to race. Look at that. For second place, we got 4 guys battling. Joda's going to win the heat.
Together, yep. Joda Awasi in lane 2. Charges to the finish pad. Takes the win in lane 2. And his winning time, 4:21.37. Winning that great battle for second In lane 5 was Caleb Parker with a time of 4:23.03. Third place in lane 6 with a time of 4:23.10 was Aiden Mauer. And it brings us to the C final. In lane 1, it'll be Jake Toppin, 18-year-old from South Bend Swim Club. Lane 2, Ethan Wing, 15-year-old from Duneland. Lane 3, Jeremy Burbrink, 18-year-old from Northridge Area Swimming Association. Lane 4 is Jake Green, 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 5, Wes Embry, 17-year-old from SWAC. Lane 6, Spencer Ball, 17-year-old from Lawrence Swim Team. Lane 7, Peyton DeWalshy, a 16-year-old from the Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Lane 8, Trevor Sally, 16-year-old from Northridge Area Swimming Association. Lane 9 is Nick Harris, a 15-year-old from the Fast Tigers. And lane 10 is Matthew Wollum, a 16-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club.
4:16.89, the Speedo sectional time standard. Young men are going to have to be out under 106, potentially, for the way they swim their races here.
6 for Lawrence Swim Team, Spencer Ball. 7 for Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Peyton Welsh. 8 for Northridge Area Swim Association, Trevor Saley. Lane 9 for Fast Tigers.
Your leader in 3:28.8. In lane number 3, looks like Jeremy Burbrink from Northridge. Northridge in a tight team battle there. They were in a nice tight team battle at High School State. So Coach is really talking to them about team effort. Joe Keller from Northridge High School and NASA Area Swimming Association.
Lane 1 got off a good start here. It's Jake Toppin.
Jake Toppin looking for a little TV time here. You can see your field, a good shot across the pool. See how close the racing is. We saw that last 100 really tighten up in that last heat, and it looks like to be developing the same way in this heat.
Yeah, I mean, there was the individual that led most of the race didn't actually end up winning it either.
Still over in lane 1, your leader. We haven't called outside smoke in a long time. Is Jake Toppin from South Bend Swim Club. Jake looks long and strong into the 200.
The three-way battle for second looks like lanes 2, 5, and 6.
Jake, the only swimmer under 33 seconds on that split. All right, coaches on the sideline now talking tempo through their hand gestures to their athletes, whether it's through waving a heat sheet or the coaches waving their arms in a circle motion to try to get the athletes to increase their tempo. They're just trying to signal that this is the key part of the race to put the effort in. 33.3 by your leader, Toppin. 32.8 over there in lane number 5, which was the fastest swimmer in the pool there. And that's Wes Hembry.
Toppin's still hanging tough in lane 1, though. I tell you what, he's swimming a nice race.
I don't know. Wes Hembry looking really good here. Catching a lot of water, isn't he?
Smooth.
He's talking about looking smooth. He's talking about that efficiency. He's not making a lot of splash with his hands out front. He's going to be behind by about a second and a half as he splits here. 33.58 for Hembry, 33.59 for Toppin. So didn't catch up much, only a hundredth of a second there.
That's not going to be enough.
Hembry's in a good part of the pool, though. He can see his competition from both sides. But you know what? Maybe they don't see him in the outside. It's a great place to hide sometimes. Yeah. These guys know. They know where their competition every time. Did you see him? Yeah. All right, here we go. 32.91 for Hembry. Fastest split in the pools. He got enough. Not so much energy. Does he have enough pool space is the question.
Can he overtake Toppin? They're separated by about 3 lanes. One versus 5 here. Toppin in 1 and Hembry in 5.
Toppin still hanging. Toppin's underneath the flags.
Going to be close. Toppin took it. Nice swim by the swimmer in lane 1 there, Jake Toppin. 4:19.78, holds off a charging swimmer in lane 5, Wes Hembry, who comes in second with a time of 4:20.28. And third place in lane 7 was Peyton DeWalshy with a time of 4:22.36. And that'll bring us to our B final for the men in the 400-meter freestyle. In lane 1 will be Zach Wilson, a 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 2, Garrett Hammonds, an 18-year-old from Avon Community Swim Team. Lane 3 is Bryce Warner, 16-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team. Lane 4 will be Evan Holland, a 15-year-old from Crown Point Swim Club. Lane 5 is Zach Sagan, an 18-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 6, Alex Montgomery, a 15-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 7, Logan Brew, 18-year-old from Pro Swimming. Lane 8, Connor Glenn, 16-year-old Northridge Area Swimming Association. Lane 9 is Jacob Reichert, 18-year-old from the Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. And lane 10, Julian Norman, a 15-year-old from SWAC.
Keep an eye in the middle of the pool. Keep an eye on Alex Montgomery. We've got some good young 14, 15, 16-year-olds right now in this particular event. Still looking for that Speedo sectional time cut. 4:16.89 is what we're looking for. Nobody's got it so far. Alex Montgomery, a good breakthrough season last year. Let's see how he performs here in the 400-meter freestyle. Saw some of these young men take an age group state championship or two, or always be in the top 8 at age group state in the team battles. Now we got a field. Look at this field.
Yeah, looks like you're right. 9 of the 10 swimmers all right together.
Lane number 5 right now, is that Zach?
Lane 2 actually touched with the lead after that first 100. Garrett Hammonds
from Avon Community Swim Team. Avon had a great high school state meet. So we talk about high school state and some of these swimmers that we see that sometimes they just change uniforms. The best coaches that we have on the deck here are coaches that are in charge of the entire programs in their communities, and their high school head coaches, their club head coaches. So basically they're just changing uniforms with the same group of guys. But it's the same team, just battling for a different team name in high school compared to their club. But they represent Team Indiana and Team USA because they are the foundation of our sport. Look over there in lane number 10. We had a couple outside smokes here recently, haven't we?
Lane 1 won the race this last race. We haven't seen a winner yet in lane 10. Perhaps it'll come in this heat.
Is that Julian Norman? Julian Norman, a good distance swimmer. Come up through, really built his aerobic base up as a 13, 14-year-old. Nice race going on out here tonight. 2:05s across the board for our leaders. Too hard to call here for us.
Too many swimmers still involved in the battle for the lead at this point.
Still looking for that 4:16.89 Speedo sectional time standard. That lane number 8, 32.54. Connor Glenn, Northridge. Northridge scored 31 points in the 500 freestyle at high school state. Talk about it, some great swims.
Yeah, we're seeing the lead here in this race. This particular heat kind of flip-flop a little bit, go back and forth between some different swimmers. We'll see if Connor Glenn can hang on here or will someone else overtake him.
.33.0. Can anybody top 33.0 in the field? They cannot. Connor Glenn now a little bit farther out in front with a 3:11.28. See what kind of closing speed he's got. Got some good energy from the coaching ranks on the sidelines tonight. Mike Miles helps a lot with being the voice on the pool deck. Hey, if we're coming to this meet, might as well swim fast, right? Listen to your coaches, guys. 32. Oh, wow. Lane number 7.
7 got back in the race on that last 50.
Logan Brew from Pro Swimming. Man, he split 31.8 on that 50. There's your closing speed.
Don't not count out lane 2 either.
Don't count out lane 10.
Garrett Hammonds in 2.
No.
Norman in 10.
Norton coming back.
Yeah, Norman is
Norman, come on, get in there, buddy.
We have a winner in lane 10 here.
Oh.
Just not quite.
He had the fastest split, though, didn't he?
He almost pulled it off, but not quite. Lane 8, Connor Glenn hangs on for Northridge area with a time of 4:15.32. Out touching the swimmer in lane 10, finishes second with a time of 4:15.41. That was Julian Norman, and in lane, let's see, 7 finishing third it was Logan Brew with a time of 4:15.49. And we'll turn things over to Mike Miles, who introduced the A finalists.
In lane 1 for Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Luke Ingram. 2 for Franklin Regional Swim Team, Jacob Destramp. In 3 for Fast Tigers, Nolan Yorkman. Lane 4 for Carmel Swim Club, Brad Sherman. In 5 for Northridge Area, Spencer Lehman. 6 for Carmel, Troy Lee. Lane 7 for Warren Aquatics, Jackson Sindala. In 8 for Duneland, Nick Hannes. Lane 9 for Lawrence County Aquatics, Paul Gabbert. And in 10 for Boilermaker Aquatics, John Roop. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your A final in the men's 400 free.
Eight lengths to the pool here.
Spencer Lehman, an Olympic trial qualifier in the 400 individual medley, your high school state champion in the 500 freestyle. Let's keep an eye on him. His goal is to get to that 4-minute barrier. Very efficient. Some good young swimmers in there. Nick Hannes, who won the 1,000 freestyle yesterday in short course yards. Up-and-comer from Chesterton High School and also Duneland Swim Club.
Yeah, I got 2 15-year-olds in this event, and looks like 4 16-year-old swimmers.
We're seeing John Roop come up from Boilermaker Aquatic as well. Watch him in the outside lanes. Brett Sherman, one of the breakout swimmers as well from High School State. And Jacob Destramp over there, don't count him out. Somebody who could really, really bring it home. He's inching up there in lane number 2 here. You watch it from home. It's lane 1 at the bottom of your screen, lane 10 at the top of your screen. Yes, I did say 10. There are 10 lanes in competition here. So we're swimming 40 tonight, giving a lot of swimmers a lot of chances to race.
Yeah, they built a beautiful facility here at Pike High School, the Pike Aquatic Center.
A lot of thanks goes out to Tom Moore, head high school coach and club coach here at Pike Aquatic Center, who's done an amazing job getting this meet together, along with our meet director, Don Kozad from Zionsville, and all the volunteers from Pike Aquatic Club and Zionsville Swim Club. We'll hopefully do an interview with them tomorrow night during our distance events.
Lane 6 and lane 5, good battle for the lead here. Early stages of this race, Troy Lee in 6 and Spencer Lehman in 5.
I think both of these young men know how to pace. I don't think Troy's swum a 400 free in a while, so we'll see what he can bring it. Both of them, 31.23 exactly at the 200, and they are at the 201.8 and 201.1. Troy Lee taking command of this race here. But I've also seen Spencer Lehman close with a 24.4 on the back end of a 200 IM, so we know he's got closing speed. Troy Lee still splitting 31.06, 31.2 for Lehman. Only 0.2 of a second difference, but it looks like 0.2 of a second in a high-level race means a lot.
Yeah, these two have separated themselves out in the middle of the field right now, Lee and Lehman.
Got a good battle going on for third over here on this right side of the pool. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4 from where our vantage point is.
Lee still hanging on to the lead in lane 6. 100 meters to go.
It's going to be a fun race. 32-0 for Troy Lee, 31-6.
Kind of sense that this may be a good finish here.
All right, well, Troy Lee's got the breathing side on the way down. Spencer Lehman more looking at his coach right here. And it's kind of, I imagine it'd be fun to know that you can close your races through all that hard training you do, and both these guys got put in the time. Two seniors battling it out.
But we'll see what happens here. Final lap. Lee and Lehman right together here in the A final men's 400-meter freestyle.
All right, lane 5, that's Spencer Lehman with a 30.8, 31.1 for Troy Lee, and it's everything we thought it was going to be on the last 25 here. Bring it home, Eric.
And the fans now on their feet cheering these two swimmers home. Who's going to win it? Spencer Lehman in 5 or Troy Lee in 6, neck and neck, headed to the flags. Great finish. Lehman maybe just inching ahead just enough to take the win, and he does. In lane 5, just enough at the end. Spencer Lehman to overtake Troy Lee. Lehman with a 4:05.08 wins the race. Second place to Troy Lee, 4:05.63, and a great swim by both young men. Third place in lane 4 to Brett Sherman with a time of 4:12.53.
That's the only thing I can tell you is maybe Spencer had the breathing side watching his competition on the way home, and it just gave him just a little bit more motivation. That's all. Nothing separated those two guys from effort, that's for sure. All right, we're moving on to the 100 backstroke.
And only 100-meter event of the night. It's the 100-meter backstroke finals for the women. Up first, the D final, 15 and 16-year-olds in this. Lane 1, Claire Brewer, 16-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 2, Avery Brooks, 15-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 3, Jacqueline Klimzik, 15-year-old from Duneland Swim Club. Lane 4, Mary Gray, a 16-year-old from Cardinal Community Swim Club. Lane 5 is Grace Estabrook, 16-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 6, Morgan Hicks, 16-year-old from Cardinal Community Swim Club. Lane 7, Lauren Kilgore, a 15-year-old from Irish Aquatics. Lane 8 is Rachel Sanquinetti, 15-year-old from Power Aquatics. Lane 9 will be Emily Massengale, 15-year-old from Bloomington Swim Club. And in lane 10, it's Rachel Young, a 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club.
Swimming in lane 1 for Zionsville, Claire Brewer, 2 for Northwest Aquatic, Avery Brooks. Lane 3 for Duneland, Jacqueline Klimzik. 4 for Cardinal Community, Mary Gray. Lane 5 for Carmel, Grace Estabrook. 6 for Cardinal Community, Morgan Hicks. 7 for Irish Aquatic, Lauren Kilgore. 8 for Power Aquatics, Rachel Sanquinetti. Lane 9 for Bloomington Swim Club, Emily Massengale. 10 for Carmel, Rachel Young. As they make the turn out front, Grace Estabrook up front, the second position on lane
33-0 for lane number 5. That's Grace Estabrook from the Carmel Swim Club. Here in the 100-meter backstroke, much more important to keep your first and second 50s much closer together, a 1 second difference. Let's see if she goes out 33-0, which she can bring back that second 50. The keys in that third 25, maintaining your body position, drive your hips to increase your tempo, and here she comes.
And Grace Estabrook taking the win here in the D final. Lane 5, winning time 108.40. Second place out in lane 10 went to Rachel Young, 110.15. And in third place in lane 1, that was Claire Brewer with a time of 110.49. In the C final, in lane 1, it will be Megan Wimmer, 17-year-old from Munster Swim Club. Lane 2 is Lydia Theobald, 17-year-old from South Bend Swim Club. Lane 3 is Becky Flaherty, an 18-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 4 is Hannah Pugh, 15-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 5 is Caroline Schultz, 17-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 6, Katie Schleiz, 18-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7, Lauren Parrish, 17-year-old from Fast Tigers. Lane 8 is Kylie Sutherland, 18-year-old from Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 9, Selena German, 17-year-old from Councilman Center. And in lane 10, Shannon Gleasing, a 17-year-old from Washington Township.
USA Swimming Futures time standard 107.29. Just missed it in heat number 1. Let's take a look at the 50 splits here. 32.77 for lane number 7. That's Lauren Parrish from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers. Already has her Olympic trial cut in the 200 backstroke, so she knows she's got a good feel for long course meters backstroke. Really increasing her tempo. Look at the strong legs by her. Look at that strong legs.
Yeah,
wow, great
tempo. How high that water off that
no kidding.
Getting his Parrish is going to take the win
in
lane 7.
Speed.
Winning time 106.57 for Lauren Parrish. Second place in lane 2 is Lydia Theobald with a time of 108.37, and third place in lane 8 went to Kylie Sutherland with a time of 108.43. In the B final, in lane 1 it will be Paige Miller, 16-year-old from Pro Swimming. Lane 2 is Greta DeCourcy, 17-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 3 is Jamie Lemming, 17-year-old from the Flashes Aquatics team. Lane 4, Maddie Zeigert, 15-year-old from Pro Swimming. Lane 5 is Ann Vormar, 18-year-old from Jay County Swim Club. Lane 6, Grace Pangburn, 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7, Megan Luger, 17-year-old from the Southeastern Swim Club. Lane 9, Alexander Nusawahardana, unattached swimmer. Lane 9 is Emily Weiss, 14-year-old from Cardinal Swimmer Community Swim Club. Lane 10, Mackenzie Arden, 18-year-old from Crown Point Swim Club.
Maddie Zeigert, Pro Swimming. Out front, lane 4, 6, Grace Banquet for Carmel.
It's like lane 4 right now with the lead. That would be Zeigert, but we're watching lane 6 come on right now as well. That's Pangburn.
Watch the still head position. These athletes are doing a great job keeping body position.
Pangburn is taking the lead and takes the win. 106.22 is Grace's time. Second place in lane 5, 107.38 the time. That was Ann Vormar. Third place in lane 4, Maddie Zeigert with a time of 107.58. And we'll turn things over to Mike Miles, the voice of the pool deck here, to give us our 10 finalists here for the women's 100-meter backstroke A final.
The lineup beginning in lane 1 from Carmel Swim Club, Emma Norton. 2 for Mako Swim Team, Anya Getters. 3 swimming unattached, Bloomington, Grace Haskett. 4 for Carmel, Kelly Pash. And 5 for Carmel, Claire Adams. 6 for Carmel, it's Lexi Laird. 7 for Carmel, Sammy Burchell. In lane 8, representing Zionsville Swim Club, Tessa Wrightson. Lane 9 for Newburgh Sea Creatures, Whitney Brown. And in 10 for Northridge Area Swim Association, Lauren Miller. Your A final heat in the women's 100 backstroke.
Some of the young ladies in this heat going for that Olympic trial time standard of 103.39. That's a tough one.
Of course, Emma Norton in lane 1 just not too long ago got an Olympic trials cut in the 400-meter.
You're watching one of our top backstrokers in the nation with Claire Adams from Carmel Swim Club, not only a high school record holder, but also on the dual in the pool team and scored points for Team USA back in December. And you watch her dominate the 200 backstroke. And let's watch and see how she splits her race. Watch it, if you're watching from home and you're looking for a great swim here, watch how she swims in the middle of the lane. Doesn't circle swim, doesn't swim sideways. And a 30.11, but a nice split over here in lane number 6 as well. Lane number 6, Lexi Laird had a nice first 50. Claire Adams' strength is in the closing speed.
She looks like she's got good closing speed out in the middle of the pool right now in lane 5. Claire Adams.
This is what is going to give her a shot for second swims at Olympic trial. Maybe she's a national team member now. Maybe a shot at the Olympic team.
And she touches with the winning time, Claire Adams, 101.44. And
you'll notice that she holds the meet records, holds the association record of 59.59. So that's a pretty darn good swim at this time of the year.
Doesn't go to the meet record and certainly gets the Olympic trial cut. 103.39 was that. 101.44 for Claire Adams, the winning time in the women's 400-meter backstroke.
She did get the meet record. Jenny Connolly's record from 2007. So she did break that.
Okay, yeah, she did break the meet record. You are correct. Second place in lane 4 was Kelly Pash with a time of 104.11. And then I think we see who got third here. Lane 7, Sammy Birchall, time of 104.16. Men are up next.
Four heats of the men's 100 backstroke, your last event of the evening.
B final. In lane 1, Grant Bowles, a 15-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 2, Brady Robinson, 16-year-old from Pro Swimming. Lane 3, Chase Chastain, 16-year-old from SWAC. Lane 4, Kyle Haflich, 16-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 5, Jacob Stramp, 15-year-old from Franklin Regional Swim Team. Lane 6, Chris Kenny, 16-year-old from Viper Aquatic Swim Team. Lane 7, Nolan Yorkman, a 16-year-old from the Fast Tigers. Lane 8 is Andrew Morizoff, 15-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 9 is Ben McAteer, 16-year-old from the Lawrence Swim Team. And lane 10, Declan Tharp, 15-year-old from Duneland Swim Club.
Speedo sectional time standard 103.19.
Second position up in lane 2, Brady Robinson.
Brady Robinson, again, we just saw him in the 200 breaststroke earlier.
Lane 9 maybe right now.
Yep.
McAteer.
Nice tempo, good still head position, and a strong finish over there.
He takes the win. In lane 9, Ben McAteer with a time of 102.21. And second place, lane 7, was Nolan Yorkman with a time of 103.11. Third place in lane 8 was Andrew Morizoff with a time of 103.98. The C final in lane 1, Joshua Dahl, 17-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club. Lane 2, Michael Hall, 17-year-old from Councilman Center. Lane 3 is Austin Spitnalik, 16-year-old from Maverick Aquatics. Lane 4 is Will Serf, 17-year-old from South Bend Swim Club. Lane 5 is Danny Schmeigel, 15-year-old from Duneland. Lane 6, Joey Vineyard, 17-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 7, Scott Hodson, 16-year-old from SWAC Swim Team. Lane 8, Alex Montgomery, 15-year-old from Newburgh Sea Creatures. Lane 9, Justin Duza, 16-year-old from LaPorte Community Swim Club. And in lane 10, it's Will Zygert, an 18-year-old from Zionsville Swim Club.
We got a Speedo sectional time standard in that last heat. 1:00.79 is the futures time standard. So some of these young men are starting to look to break what we call barriers in the sport. First time you break a minute in the 100 free. The first time you break a minute in long course meter backstroke.
Out front as they make the turn. Lane 8, Alex Montgomery, second position.
Lane 8, Alex Montgomery, 30.28. Watch so many times we call the leaders at the 50 and they're not the leaders at the 100. So stroke efficiency on the way out, balance the legs, increase the tempo. Coming on strong is lane number 9 as well.
Lane 8 right next to him, too. 9 is Duza, 8 is Montgomery. Let's see who takes the win between those two. It's lane 8, Alex Montgomery. Winning time 102.71 by 300ths the win over the swimmer in lane 9. Justin Duza gets second with a time of 102.74. Third place in lane 5 was Danny Schmeigel with a time of 103.42. In the B final, in lane 1, it's Alan Forbes, 17-year-old from Greenfield Community Aquatic. Lane 2, Hayden Caesar Wonke, 15-year-old from Avon Community. Lane 3 is Seth Kripe, 18-year-old from North Virginia Swimming Association. Lane 4 is Sam Hagdorn, 18-year-old from SWAC. Lane 5, Ryan Hoosing, 18-year-old from Northwest Aquatic Club. Lane 6, Camden Koch, 17-year-old from North Virginia Swimming Association. Lane 7, Brett Sherman, 16-year-old from Carmel Swim Club. Lane 8 is Spencer Ball, 17-year-old from Lawrence Swim Team. Lane 9, Dalton Freeman, a 19-year-old unattached swimmer from Northwest Aquatic Club. And in lane 10, it's Trey Cooley, 16-year-old from the SWAC Swim Team.
Lane number 6 with a very high tempo rate trying to go out after that first 50. That's Cameron Koch. from Northridge. Really eating up the first 50 with a 29-1. First swimmer out, fastest swimmer out so far in the field. Trying to break a minute. See if he can keep up that stroke rate all the way back. He's got 35 meters to go. Again, 00.79 is Futures time standard. He's hanging tough right now with about 10 meters to go.
And we'll see what his winning time is for Camden Copes.
You break it.
Lane 6, 1:00:37 for Camden Copes.
Futures time standard.
Second place in lane 2 was Aiden Caesar Wonky with a time of 101.84. Third place in lane 3 was Seth Kripe with a time of 102.02. We're ready for our final race of the evening now. It's the A final for the men in the 100-meter backstroke, and we'll turn things over to Mike Miles, who will introduce the participants.
Here's the lineup. Lane 1, Three Rivers Aquatic Club, Jacob Steele. Lane 2 from Zionsville, Jack Fronsman. In lane 3 from Indian Creek Aquatic, Wyeth Brock. Lane 4 from Zionsville, Tyler Harmon. 5 from Carmel, Wyatt Davis. And 6 from Carmel, Drew Kibler. 7 from Greenfield Community Aquatics, Zach Cook. 8 for Carmel, Troy Lee. Lane 9 for Avon Community, Vince Partlow. And in 10 for Northwest Aquatic Club, Noah Yerian. Your A final heat of the men's 100 backstroke.
They've been waiting all night to call this race because we're going to see Drew Kibler, one of our top breakout swimmers from Carmel Swim Club, and his teammate, who is about a foot shorter, is Wyatt Davis, who won the 200 backstroke last night, pretty much dominating the field with a 2:05. We've watched him break records at age group state for the last few years, now making breakthroughs, and he is right there even with Kibler.
Now Wyatt's just 14 years old.
Wyatt riding super high on top of the water. Time standards going for Olympic trial, 57.19. Junior Nationals, 58.99. Kibler kind of building a little stronger into the first 50. Tax the wall, Wyatt Davis right behind him, 27.4 for Kibler, 28.1 for Davis. Looking for those national level cuts.
Kibler with the lead.
57.19. Can Kibler get his first Olympic trial cut in backstroke? Wyatt Davis looking for 58.99.
Fransman, a pretty strong swimmer.
He's underneath the flags. He can get it. He can get it. He can get it.
Going to take the win. What's the time?
Got to see the clock. Show me the clock. 57.19.
Just 57.26. The winning time for Drew Kibler in lane 6. Second place in lane 5, Wyatt Davis with a time of 58.59. Third place in lane 2, Jack Fransman with a time of 59.02.
Just
agonizingly close there, but a good swim by Drew Kibler.
Wyatt Davis getting his junior national time standard.
So we'll have a final awards presentation of the evening to recognize the second half of the event, the top 8 finishers in those events. And then tomorrow, our finals will start from our webcast. We'll be on the air at 4:30 tomorrow. And things will
guys are helping switching the pool over.
And things will get started tomorrow with the women in the 800-meter freestyle. And that'll be a timed finals event, the 800-meter freestyle. Then we'll go to the men in the 1,500-meter, the metric mile, time finals. Then we'll have the women and the men in the 200 IM, 200 freestyle, the 100-meter butterfly events. And then the final event tomorrow night will be the 400-meter freestyle relay. Actually, the 400-meter freestyle relay will not be swum in finals tomorrow night. The final event tomorrow night for our webcast will be the 100-meter butterfly. That's coming up tomorrow. Again, we'll start at 4:30.
So that's the one race where we'll be swimming at the Olympic distances in meters. So we swam our distance 1,000 freestyle for men and 1,650 for women in short course yards, but we're swimming our Olympic distance events in meters.
So we've got the awards presentation coming up here in a moment. Good night of swimming here, Tony. Swimming long course meters.
Olympic trial cuts, some of the top fastest time in the nation by Claire Adams. Pretty good for March, looking to get those second swims. You look at just right there, Drew Kibler is all over Olympic trial cuts at age 15, getting there. Wyatt Davis coming up and showing he's going to be a force over the next couple of years.
3 young ladies in that A final in the 200-meter butterfly achieving an Olympic trials cut.
Emma Norden in the 400-meter free.
Leading the charge in that butterfly race was Vanessa Krause with a great finish. Pick the win. And we'll turn things over to Mike Miles, who will introduce our winners for the second half of this meet this evening.
In 10th place from Avon Community, Natalie Myers. 9th place from Carmel, Katie Doherty. 8th place from Mako Swim Team, Maddie Johnson. 7th place from Pacesetter Aquatics, Rachel Walker. 6th place for Northridge Area Swim Association, Katie Hughes. 5th place from Duneland, Lauren Calais. 4th place from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Maggie Johns. 3rd place from Carmel Swim Club, Morgan Miller. Placing 2nd from Fast Tigers, Olivia Johnson. And a 2016 Indiana Senior Long Course Champion, the women's 400 freestyle from Carmel Swim Club. Ladies and gentlemen, she did it in a Olympic trial cut time, 4:16.75, Emma Norden. Ready now for the award presentation in the men's 400 freestyle. In 10th place from Boilermaker Aquatics, John Root. 9th place from Lawrence County Aquatics, Paul Gabbard. 8th place from Franklin Regional Swim Team, Jacob Destram. 7th place from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Nolan Yorkman. 6th place from Warren Aquatics Club, Jackson Sandala. 5th place from Duneland, Nick Hunnis. 4th from Fishers Area Swimming Tigers, Luke Ingram. 3rd place from Carmel Swim Club, Brett Sherman. Placing 2nd, also from Carmel, Troy Lee. And the 2016 Indiana Senior Long Course Champion in the men's 400 free from Northridge Area Swim Association, Spencer Lehman, in a time of 4:05.08. Congratulations, gentlemen. And approaching the awards podium now, the top 10 finishers in the women's 100 backstroke. And in 10th place this evening for Newburgh Sea Creatures, Whitney Brown. 9th place from Carmel Swim Club, Emma Norden. In 8th place from Mako Swim Team, Anya Getters. 7th place from Northridge Area Swim Association, Lauren Miller. 6th place, Swimming Unattached Bloomington Swim Club, Grace Haskett. 5th place from Zionsville Swim Club, Tessa Wrightson. Your top 4 finishers, all from Carmel. 4th place, Lexi Laird. 3rd place from Carmel, Sammy Burchell. 2nd place from Carmel, Kelly Pash. And a 2016 Indiana Senior Long Course Champion of the Women's 100 Backstroke from Carmel Swim Club. She did it, establishing a new meet association record, or meet record for this event, and got her Olympic trial cut 1:01:44. Claire Adams. And her final award presentation, this in the men's 100 backstroke. In 10th place from Avon Community Swim Team, Vince Partlow. 9th place, Carmel Swim Club, Troy Lee. 8th place from Northwest Aquatic Club, Noah Yerian. 7th place from Indian Creek Aquatic, Wyeth Brock. 6th place from Greenfield Community Aquatic, Zach Cook. 5th place from Three Rivers Aquatic, Jacob Steele. 4th place from Zionsville, Tyler Harmon. 3rd place also from Zionsville, Jack Franzman. Placing 2nd from Carmel Swim Club, Wyatt Davis. And a 2016 Indiana Senior Long Course Champion of the men's 100 back, also from Carmel, Drew Kibler, in a time of 57.26. Great job, gentlemen. That does conclude our official events for this evening.
So that wraps up the awards session here for this evening. The 2013 Indiana Swimming Senior Short Course Championships, sponsored by Speedo. Of course, swimming long course meters at the final sessions, and that's going to wrap things up. Tony, as we said earlier, a great night of swimming. We saw some Olympic trials, some great swims, great finishes, and we'll do it again tomorrow at 4:30 for another long course meters final session.
And prelims start again at 9:30 in the morning. What you're watching on our screen right now is the changeover from long course meters to short course yards. It takes a lot of help to be able to do this in a short period of time. They actually have to inflate the bulkhead and to move it back to the middle of the pool to set up for short course yards. So we'll end with that. We'll see you tomorrow, and again, another great night here at the opening championship meet of Pike Aquatic Center here in Indianapolis, Indiana.
So that will wrap things up for the Sport Development Director for Indiana Swimming, Tony Young. I'm Eric Eaton saying so long, everyone, and thanks for watching.